What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here with another episode of my show. Woo! I am here with my good buddy Singer, and we are here to discuss some fantastic topics today. All right, that went out. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Okay, and I'm looking forward to it. Singer, are you looking forward to it?
I am looking forward to it, yes. Very much
Nice,
so.
sweet. All right, go ahead and pin this. Okay. All right. So what's up, Arcade? What's up, Raja? What's up, Meat Puppet? What's up, Iman? Drav, who's been a member for 25 months. Appreciate you saying. Appreciate you, bro. Saying, let's hope Xbox showcases fire like this show. Oh, thank you so much. All hail Queen Luca. Shout out to you, my boy. Shout out to you. So what's up, guys? How are we doing today? Nathaniel, what's goody? What's up, guys? How are we doing? How are we doing this fine evening? This fine, super hot evening. The weather has been kicking everybody's ass, man. I'm telling you. Singer? Sir?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the weather's been
Are you playing
absolutely.
Diablo?
I am not. No.
Okay. All right.
Uh. Uh. But yeah.
Are you good?
Um. 1 second. I have to formulate my thoughts.
Yeah, sure. All right. All
Uh.
right. What's up, Slow? Okay, so anyway, but yeah, this has been a very interesting week. We've had some new developments come out. We got some more information on the Redfall situation. We got some confirmation about certain things. Bobby Kotick came out with an interview, which was also very interesting. They definitely were doing that shit at Blizzard. That's all I got. Activision Blizzard, and so that's all I got to say about that for now. And then apparently they teased Fable, the official Xbox account teased Fable. I don't know anything about Fable, so I'm just gonna have to take everyone's word for it. But and then also Diablo 4 came out. I've not played it, but Singer has been investing a lot of time in it. So if he wants to give his impressions whenever he gets his thoughts together. But what's up, Breesky? What's up, Butch? What's up,
They're
Slow?
finally together.
Geekhead? Raiden, what's up, Spidey Rings? Oh, Across the Spider Verse was absolutely astounding. This is the official Luca seal of approval. Go see Across the Spider Verse. It's out. It's awesome. It's a wonderful film. Absolutely fantastic time. What's up, Surgeon Sentinel Gaming? What's goody? What's up, guys? Please hit the like button on your way inside, on your way in to the show. That is, and yeah, man, let's get it popping. So, Singer, impressions on Diablo 4.
Oh, the game is. Like where to start? Where to start? Okay. Well, the game it definitely deserves its review score. In fact, it probably deserves a little bit higher, in my opinion. Um, so far, the game has been fire. Combat story has been good. Um, we gotta go kill mommy. Um, and even the side quests are actually pretty good. Like even the story might be a bit boring, but they're easy to do. They don't go farm 5 bear skins or whatever. Like the typical side quests you get in these kinds of games. Without revealing too much, it looks the story's a bit darker. I don't know how many people are actually playing, so um, the what it's the there is a thing to watch out for. 'Cause some people have asked me about the skill tree. Don't worry about the skill tree. It looks complicated, but literally, just whatever you feels right, just go for it. Like there is no wrong answers. There's only what fits your playstyle. Like for me personally, I'm an ice mage right now, and I can change it whenever I want. Like if 10 levels I get bored and go, okay, I want to be a lightning mage now. Actually, do I want to be a fire, lightning, and ice mage? I could do it all. So there is no wrong answers. Just go ham, do what you want to do. Doesn't matter what class you pick either. They're all strong. So just go for it and enjoy yourself, immerse yourself in the world. And that's co-op is also kind of broken right now. Like there's so much damage you could do in co-op. It's a lot easier co-oping stuff than solo. I don't know if there's a problem with like how much damage you do. Um, so it's a lot easier clearing content, but everything's perfectly soloable. The entire world scales to your level, so it doesn't matter where you go. Once you're given free reign, just go in any which direction and enjoy yourself. Um, also do the altars of Lilith, because the altars of Lilith give you permanent stats across all your characters and your future characters. So if you plan to make a second and third character, they benefit. So on your first playthrough, make sure you get every single one. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Okay. So, interesting thing about this is that so Diablo is a game that's, I'm assuming it's mostly played on PC, because I'm looking at the Metacritic score and there's 50 critic reviews for PC, 15 for PlayStation, and 11 for Xbox. So I'm assuming that this is like a PC gamer type of title. I'm
No,
asking.
no. Well, I mean, it's when you look at the genre, it's very this is a PC kind of game, but obviously it's on consoles, so it makes
Yeah.
sense you'd have more reviews on PC because more PC centric sites would check it out.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Are you guys playing Diablo? I'm checking out the chat right now.
I know Leaky is.
Leaky's playing, saying level 36 Necro has not died yet, so that's pretty dope. All right, yeah, I think I've been like considering picking it up, but I'm just so not in the gaming mood right now. Like the only game I've been looking at right now is this game called Fear and Hunger, and it's like this fucked up kind of RPG like title that's on PC. So I've been considering that. Other than that, let's see here. Do you want to talk about this Fable Tease?
Yes, this was intriguing. I got excited, and many people who remember Fable got excited because if you remember, for one, the music used in it is from Fable. It's a remix of one of the tracks, but also the glittering trail to follow when you're doing a quest. There's like this little glitter trail that you follow to go to your quest. So when it started off and you see this glitter trail go all the way to the showcase, naturally you're gonna think this is referencing Fable. Like everything points to Fable. Now, this is also a problem because if Fable isn't at the showcase, you're gonna have a whole bunch of angry people. But is this signifying Fable will be there in some capacity? It's difficult to tell, but that is definitely a whole ass Fable tease.
Yeah, someone was telling me that like the music that they played was slightly similar, and then he also discussed like the fairy trail or dust trail, the
Yeah,
glitter trail, whatever the fuck, right? He discussed that as well. So I think that like if since it seems like it's very clear that it might be Fable, I think it would be a mistake if they don't have it, you know? Because I also said this though, I'm like, oh, they could be talking about Princess Glitterfest, the new indie game they plan on showing for Game Pass. Like, you know, you never know with Xbox at this point. You
no,
never
no, no.
fucking know.
The official Xbox account wouldn't tweet something that that was not made by accident. That was very deliberate. The choice of music, the way they did the glitter, going from one place to another, and then ending up at the showcase on the screen. That is way too deliberate. It's gotta be Fable.
It's Fable.
It, yeah.
It's Fable. I'm 100% certain Fable's going to be there. What I'm not
Mm-hmm.
certain about is whether we're going to see gameplay or not.
Yeah.
Which I would assume that 3 years after you did a teaser reveal that you would be able to do some kind of gameplay or at least snippets of gameplay in the midst of mostly cinematics and stuff like that. But I don't know. You know, it's Xbox. Who more than likely it's just going to be cinematics, or at the very maybe they'll do another teaser trailer where the fairy breaks out of the frog's stomach and then gets stepped on by like a cart or something, or a dude just walking down the street, and then they're just like, Fable, it's still coming. It's just like,
Nah,
yeah.
I think they'll probably show something because Matt, there's been some talk about how Matt Booty wanted to show off Fable, and they said no, it's not ready.
Yeah, that was at
I
Gamescom almost a year ago. It's been like 10 months since then.
so I think Playground are now ready to share, probably a vertical slice or something. But I expect some gameplay to be sprinkled in there, maybe some story content, you know, and a release date, 2024. Book it, Fable 2024.
Yeah, you think it's coming out 2024? What about you, Slow?
I can see it coming out like holiday 2024.
Yeah,
You
holiday.
know, but like if like people like Jeff Grubb have been hearing things that like development has been difficult for them in their transition from like making racers to trying to transition Forza tech engine into something that can be useful for a open action RPG. And if that's the case, then it probably will be like 2025 then, if they have had some roadblocks they've had to get past.
Man, I'm just thinking about all those years we said that Hellblade was going to be at a showcase.
I expect it to be announced and it's coming out this year, and I expect Avowed to be there to be announced coming in 2024. Then you put Avowed in the beginning of the year, Fable at the end of the year, and then you have something in between.
I mean in a perfect world, the perfect scenario, that sounds great, but typically when it comes to game development, it's never it's never how people intended. And a lot of like the games that they intend on putting out, like at some point they will get delays and stuff like that. Like we've seen, like 2022 was basically almost nothing from their first party because of delays. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if that's like, if internally Fable has been delayed off their timetable before, and that after they start talking like specific like seasons and years where they expect it to come out, it still gets delayed from there. Like, none of that would surprise me whatsoever.
I mean, none of it would surprise me, but if at the showcase I see holiday 2024, makes sense. Sure.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, Avowed is definitely 2024. I expect that date slapped on the screen.
Yes, you're very.
That's another
confident
game
in your
that we haven't
predictions.
seen any gameplay from.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll show off gameplay and slap your release date.
Like that needs to be the theme of this showcase. Gameplay. First time seeing gameplay of these games. It needs to be the theme. Avowed, Fable, Hellblade 2. Even though what we saw was kind of like a scripted in-engine kind of look of Hellblade 2 years ago, we need to see like actual straight up gameplay. Like straight, I want to see Senua cutting dudes down. I want to see what the combat looks like. I want to see if the combat has advanced any. I want to see if it's got some depth to it. I want to see that like it's no longer just, here is your combat section. Okay, now here's your puzzle section. Now here's your walking and listening to the the story be told to you section. Like, nah, look, that was fine when y'all was just doing the AA thing and y'all had a small little team with no budget whatsoever. Let's get it to a little bit, beyond that. Yes, it was scripted. What are you talking about, Geekhead? Come on now.
Yeah,
she walked into a cave, saw a big burning ugly mother alpha, and then ran out and threw a spear. How's it not scripted? Shut up, Geekhead. Just come on now.
I expect quite a few of the games to be there that we need to see gameplay on. A lot of the other games are question marks, of course, but I mean, it should be pretty good. As long as we get that gameplay of Avowed, just Obsidian certified gameplay, and that release date, and I'll be good.
Yes, yeah. I think they probably will reveal new stuff too that first party is probably working on too. Like, I think
Gears.
I was actually thinking, man.
A Gears,
I don't know, man.
The new Gears?
I don't know
Okay,
about Gears, man.
how about the start of the show? Gears. Coalition comes up on the screen.
I actually think they'll start the show with Hellblade 2. I think they'll start the show
Really?
off with it because the way Phil Spencer was talking, and the way some people are assuming is that Hellblade 2 might come out this year. So
Yeah,
if you're
but
gonna now remember what they did with Halo Infinite when Halo Infinite was supposed to come out in 2020, it was the first thing they showed. They showed 5 minutes of gameplay. It was terrible gameplay, and they ended up delaying it, but still, that was the thought process, right? So I'm thinking like they'll do something similar with Hellblade, but hopefully, prayerfully, like it's not looking as bad as Halo Infinite looked when they
I
first
just thought
revealed it.
I just thought they'd throw Hellblade in with because Forza's coming out this year and we haven't got a release date, so you'd throw it in a little section with like Forza and some other things that are coming out, and then because you'd want to start with something big or new, and then you'd want to end with something a bit bigger than Hellblade. Like Fable gameplay, you could put that at the end, maybe, in a release date.
Yeah, I mean, Fable's a bigger IP than Hellblade, so certainly, yeah. But I mean, with these shows, they're all formatted the same way. In the very beginning, they show something first party, and then they show another game after that that's maybe first party, maybe third party, but typically pretty good. And then they go on this run of
Game
games that are
Pass
already
games
out, Game Pass games that are
and
already
indies.
out. They're getting expansions. Third party games they got marketing deals with. There's like in the middle of the show is just a bunch of that stuff that bores the hell out of everybody, right? And
Uh-huh.
then at the end, they hit you with everything else that is first party. They may drop like a first party something in the middle of the show to kind of wake everybody up, like, "Hey, gotcha! Look at this." But then at the end, it's more of like the last thing or the second to last thing is something that is just as big as the first thing they show. This is how all the shows are always formatted. So if you got 90 minutes of content, I'm expecting a lot of content then. Like, and not just a lot of not. Hey, hey, we're working with EA on the next Battlefield. Hey, we're working with the. Hey, here's Phantom Liberty. Is it Phantom Liberty? Is that the Cyberpunk expansion?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, something like that.
Here's Phantom Liberty. Let's do 5 minutes of Phantom Liberty. Like, no, I don't want to see 5 minutes of Phantom Liberty. Like, I mean, I'm gonna play it, but I'm not trying to see that here. Keep that for like Jeff Keighley's Summerfest Game Fest thing. Like, I want to see more of your own content there, which
The
is
thing
what
is,
a lot of the problem I had with the Sony showcases. There was a lack of their own content there. Go ahead.
we've been talking a lot about the first party, but we haven't mentioned id, because id have been quiet since Doom Eternal, right? Those boys have been off the radar, so we could see the Quake remake or whatever they're doing, the reboot. So we could see that too. You could start with that.
Yeah.
It's software because
ZeniMax Media is working on a new MMO. They might show that too.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, good call, good call.
but that's multi-plat, so there gonna be a lot of people like it doesn't matter because it's on everything. So you know how it is.
The
It
same way
doesn't
Final
matter.
Fantasy 14 is exclusive. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, it'll be fun. I
What
think.
do you think you're gonna see, Luca?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, she's just letting us talk. Look, you're not taking the L by thinking, "Hey, I think I might see this." No one cares, Luca. No one's counting L's or W's. It's just say what you think you might see. You might not see.
I don't know at this point, man. I just don't know if Xbox. I'm I'm going to be honest with you. Like, yeah, I would like to see what all those studios are doing. I would like to see what
Forte wants to link.
what is contraband?
Yeah, that's a great.
What is
That's a
that?
great
Oh
question.
Like,
yeah.
there's just so many things that
I
I
love how
would
they do teaser
expect to
trailers
see.
like that.
But I'm
Sarcasm.
thinking about Sony's, you know, I'm thinking about their show, and then I'm thinking about Xbox's last E3, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, man, I don't know, dude. Because like, can we have a conversation for a second though?
Let's do it.
Why do they keep showing off these fucking indie games? Like these really tiny indie games. And don't get me wrong, I understand the importance of indie titles. I understand the importance of supporting smaller studios. I definitely get that, right? But it's just like when it comes to these bigger showcases, like yes, we want to see what first party is doing, but we also want to see like, well, God, I'm speaking for myself. But then again, maybe I'm not just speaking for myself because you see the reactions is after the shows on socials, and it's just kind of like people tend to be disappointed because we're not seeing like these mature rated titles. We're not really seeing these titles that take advantage of the hardware in the way that we would like to see, considering the money that we spent and the propaganda. I'm sorry, and the marketing ploy that they had when it came to these devices and such. And it's just like for me, you know, it's like every show they have one or two big title that's like this, you know, it's either beautiful or it shows off like this mature kind of gameplay and mature storytelling and that kind of thing, right? But then it's like the majority of the games they show are just like these smaller indie titles that have like 2D animation. And don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. And I think that in the indie scene, they are very creative, and that is where the innovation is. But it's also kind of like, I mean, bam, sometimes I just like my generic stab, shoot kind of games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like that like I like the blood and the gore and the violence and like the mature adult stories, and I just don't feel like we get that, and the focus is like never there. It's always on these like tinier games, and I don't understand why.
I think they do that for two reasons. The main reason is that they are time wasters. They pad the time so they can say, look, we got and statistics as well. We got 30, 40, 50 games to show you. And it's like the majority of those games are those little indie games. But like it sounds great, right? You got 50 games that I haven't seen before to show me. Yay. But it's like, hey, we got a showcase that's 90 minutes long. Even though as far as like what people were looking for, the first party stuff was only maybe about 25 of that 90 minutes. But still, like it sounds great that they got this high number and high numbers that they're using when they talk about their show. And then after the show, they're like, we just showed you X number of games going into Game Pass at launch and blah, 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 blah. That's what it's all for. And additionally, it does make them look good when they have, it makes them look versatile and when they have indie games that they can say, hey, you know, our platform has that artistic stuff. You know, we're not just shoot, bang, bang.
But it's
We're
like
also
when it's more of the fucking artistic shit than the shoot, bang, bang, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. The majority of the fucking games they show are those goddamn fucking indies. And again, I understand the importance of indies, but I'm just kind of like, brother, like they spend so much time with it's exactly what Forsmoke had said. Like, treat their fans like the stockholders that want to hear 50 games. I'm sorry, but the fans don't want to fucking hear that shit, dude. Like, again, I'm just speaking for myself and then a couple of people I've seen, but I just feel so bored. I feel so bored when I'm at these, like when I'm watching these conferences and it's like fucking Cat Quest or fucking Grease 2. It's like
the unfortunate thing is, and this is a problem with AAA game development, these shits are taking like 5 years to make. So you can't be showing off these games every single year because it takes so long to make these games that you need to have some filler. You need some indie games to fill up. Like Sony had that problem with their showcase. How many first-party games were there? How much gameplay? There was, 4 first-party games? Like, this is their big blow-your-pants-off showcase, and they've only got 4? Because everything else is still being made or not ready to show, or they just ship something. So you have to throw in that stupid-ass Splatoon clone. You have to throw in Cat Quest, another cat game. I don't know what PlayStation has an obsession with cats.
Cat games are on the rise.
Yo, Sony's honing in on the cat games, yo. They got what's that? 3 cat games now?
They are definitely taking advantage of the cat lover market. But no, look, First Xbox first party. I'm sorry, but they have enough studios, and especially enough studios that haven't shown us much of anything in a while, that they could definitely do just a 60-minute show and have it be majority just their first party and their ZeniMax media, who once upon a time Bethesda used to have their own showcase every year.
Whew.
So like
I still remember that
trash
2018
content.
showcase.
Right, bad shows.
I remember
but,
that shit, man, with the whole not a mimic thing, and like,
yeah.
I remember.
But if you cut
Ubisoft,
out
I remember.
45 minutes of Bethesda's trash show and just give us the 15 minutes of the content that people actually wanted to see and add that to your own show, you could have a quality 60-minute show of just everything that is like literally for the majority your stuff, and then you're contractual obligated. Hey, look, we are the marketing. We're doing marketing for Bethesda, for not Bethesda, but Battlefield. So we gotta show a new Battlefield trailer. But so here it is. But for the most part, they could just do their own content if they showed it. Because I mean, look, Compulsion was bought in 2018, and they ain't showed a damn thing since then.
It's just
like they might show something.
Like, it's 2023. There's just no excuse for them to be showing fucking random ass indie titles and not showing their fucking first party shit, dude. Like, I'm bored, man. Like, these showcases are boring. I want to ask y'all in the chat, like, would you rather they just not do showcases if they don't have anything interesting to show? Or do you like these little updates where it's like, okay, here's rinky dink indie game number 45? Like, again, I hate to be so dismissive about it because there are some fantastic indie titles. Coat of the Lamb? You mean Crack Cocaine Simulator 2022? You know what I'm saying? Like, crack cocaine, like literally, like it shit was addicting.
But see, that's the wild thing. That was Devolver Digital, and that's like all like when they do their show this month, you know it's going to be like a cracked out like meth dream of a weird narrative story in the show where they're like doing all kinds of crazy stuff. People are getting decapitated for no reason. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. And in between all that, they're showing you fire indie game after fire indie game. Like, Cult of the Lamb is their game. Like, Devolver Digital is just that they're on it. They're on one. So it's just like that's the only show that I'm always like, you know what? Yeah, go and show off your indies because your indies are fire. Everyone knows they're fire. So yeah,
I feel bad because I know these developers. They work hard on their titles, and they're proud of them. And some indie titles win like some prestigious awards or are nominated for Game of the Year. I understand them. I understand.
There's always at least one nominated every year.
I understand, man. I understand. Devs follow your passion. I'm with it. Save that shit for fucking what is that shit called?
Summer Games Fest.
Summer's Games Fest. Save it for your fucking state of plays and save it for. Do they still do the fucking Xbox? What is that? Inside Xbox? They don't do
no,
it.
They don't.
I think they're replacing that with Developer Direct now, but that is literally all first party. So the first one they did in January, it was nothing but first party content. So that's not the place for indies either.
Yeah. What's up, Ramon?
Yo, what's going on?
Ramon was good, man.
Ramon.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Sorry I'm late. I had a rather interesting meeting, some film stuff, and nothing worth talking about yet, but if it becomes worth talking about, it'll be a big deal. But
oh man, are you voice acting something in Fable?
Damn, how did you guess, man? I signed an NDA.
Hey, I guess. No. What are your thoughts on the Xbox showcase, man? What are you expecting to see?
Man, I'm not going to even. How do you even expect anything? I can say, like, I know what I hope to see, but as far as expectations, man, I've already I've been kicked. I've ridden that broken train, but I mean, I guess Fable is a reasonable expectation based on the little glitter trailer that they did. So
yeah,
I would think that's going to be there because it seemed pretty on the nose. And if it's not Fable, then that would be really weird. Like, what would it be? Because could be a possibility of a remaster trilogy package as well when they announce it. I mean, that could be something.
I mean, to
Can
be
you?
honest,
I would
take
feel.
that.
I would feel a little sickly. I would feel a little sickly. I'm like, you tease, no, you knowing Fable 4 is coming out, you're like, oh, here's the remaster package.
Oh yeah, no,
this
I'm
is
talking
what
about
it
in
is.
addition to.
Yeah,
It better be a fucking in addition to.
Yeah,
boys.
if they did that, that would be the ultimate troll, but it would not be it would be a terrible troll. Like that would
because
just,
if you remember, they released MCC before Halo 5, so they might have the Halo trilogy remaster this year, and then Fable next year.
Yeah, that would be if they were doing that
to
that
generate
would be,
hype.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to announce at the same time. If they're in fact doing it, is hey, they introduce the Fable, right? They show like whatever they're gonna show, and then after that, be like, by the way, to tide you over, and then the remaster trilogy pack or something like that. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
I want to say Avowed. It's been a while. They need to show us something. And I really want to see what that's about. I mean, possibly Perfect Dark. I never really cared about Perfect Dark from the get-go. So I mean, but that's
Darling gonna be there.
Yeah, it's a long way off. Like I'd be surprised, but it's probably 2 more years off. And then I feel like Hellblade 2 needs to be there. Like it's been what, 3 years? I think.
Yeah.
Almost 4 years.
Wait, 2019? Did they?
Yeah, they announced it 2019. So yeah,
no. They announced it in 20. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah,
I don't know why I got
fall,
that.
Yeah, because it was at the Game Awards of 2019.
Yeah, it was at the Game Awards with the
So
reveal of the Series X.
So it'll have almost been 4 years. We're creeping on 4 years for Hellblade. They need to show something. I know they said that last one was gameplay, and maybe it was, but it was hard to, it was kind of hard to judge what that was. So yeah, Hellblade, I feel like needs to be there.
It was. We can call it what it was. It was boring. I mean, it was just like literally Senua, creeps into a cave with her homies,
and then they back out,
and then they run out of there like a bat out of hell because some ugly giant was on fire chasing them. She grabs a spear and throws it at him. There you go. That's the entire thing, which it could have all been in Unreal Engine 5, and I do not doubt Ninja Theory. I don't think they will lie about any of that kind of stuff. But like when people was like, "Yo, I want to see Hellblade gameplay," they're talking about like, I want to see the advancements in the combat. I want to see
exactly
just like on a game design level, what's really different or what has changed and advanced compared to the previous game. And that's what I'm looking forward to, because I liked Hellblade 1, but I will not play Hellblade 1 again, because although I liked the game, there were some things that I found frustrating. The puzzles were frustrating. Not necessarily they weren't difficult, but like there's one puzzle in particular where I'm like, how they were, like you had to look at something from
exactly the right
point
angle.
of view, right. I'm literally right there at the right angle. It's still not activating that I got it. I'm just like, now I'm just trying to do like this little dance in the area, trying to catch exactly where the game wants me to stand for it to activate. I'm just like, bro.
Yeah,
whatever.
I went through that with 1 or 2 puzzles as well. I'll still play through it again before the second one releases, but I definitely remember those little. Wait a minute. Oh my god. All right, so I just saw your screen names, Slow-Mo.
Hey man,
contrary to popular belief, I'm the head niggle in charge. I know not many people will get that reference, but I know you will.
You're right. but I think another criticism I had of Hellblade 1 was it wasn't balanced. So what I mean by that is like the first half of the game is majority puzzles, very little combat. And then the last half of the game is mostly combat. Well, you have a little section that's kind of like horror-ish, but then it's like mostly combat and then very little puzzles. And I would have preferred like it was just more balanced all throughout, especially considering like how they show you how to fight. And the fighting is very basic, but then like you go a good like maybe 40 minutes before you go into another fight, and like from the first fight to the second fight, you like, hey, what was the attacks again? Like, what was I doing again? You know, it's just like, and yeah, I mean, it's just like I think it was a great foundation of a really good game. I think they have a good foundation to take it even further and make it into a great game. I just want to see that. That's all.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I feel pretty confident, with Ninja Theory. I mean, especially when they were talking about how everybody went to took sword fighting classes and sword combat instruction and stuff like that. So it seems like they're really going all out and going as far as they can and putting the funding Microsoft is funneling to them to use. At least that's what it seemed like based on what I've seen. So I feel, I feel confident in Ninja Theory. I mean, they did so much with so little with Hellblade. Like, even with the limited combat and everything, there was something about. I guess I'm a kind of a different kind of gamer because a lot of the niggles people had with that game, like with the combat and everything and the spaced out combat, that actually, didn't bother me because I was, I kind of sank into the world. And then the way they played that head game at the very, very end when you're fighting the last boss, I really liked that little spin on that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I really hope it's there. In my opinion, it needs to be there. They need to have something there from being announced in 2019.
Oh yeah, it'll be there, and it'll be releasing this year. Watch, end of the year, throw it in there.
If they do that, that'd be a huge, huge win.
We'll see.
We'll see. I still think it's coming out this year.
I feel doubtful, but
it could very easily slip into like the early 2024 too. I mean, it's just I don't know.
Who
We'll
knows
see.
at this point? Like I said, people. Honestly speaking, I don't even really see that same level of excitement in the Xbox crowd this year. I think it's because all of us are kind of like, man,
we've had enough.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. That being said, it's like maybe I'm just not seeing the Xbox people be excited on my timeline.
I'm not really seeing much of it either. I think people are just fatigued with, this whole thing, like, just the disappointments and everything. There's an interesting divide in the gaming community though, because I have talked to a good handful of, a handful of casual gamers, and they're like, yeah, that show was pretty cool. The people who actually knew about the show. Hardcore gamers like us, however, were disappointed. Talking about the PlayStation show, that is.
Yeah, I know.
So it kind of makes you wonder. And I mean, I'm obviously not ready to pull my pitchforks out yet. I mean, I have misgivings about Mr. Jim, but I'm not ready to pull the pitchforks out just yet, because I just want to, we're waiting to see what happens. But it makes me wonder if they're very cognizant of the size of just how big we are versus the audience that probably liked that show.
They're very aware. They know, because Jim mentioned it when he made a little mention where he was like, yeah, PC players don't mind waiting 3 years for the titles to show up on PC. Like, he knows.
Oh yeah.
Like, he knows he is exactly clued in to what's going on. Like, actually, I don't know if Sony actually does care about what their community on social media says, because
they do not
winning.
Care.
They're winners.
They obviously
the winner.
They definitely hear what everyone is saying, and they do not care. They do not care. No, because they know. Like, they know that the people who are doing the most complaining are still going to be day one on all their content, all of their day one on their first party games. Or, hey, I don't care about your games as a service, live service game. Shut up, you're gonna play it. You're gonna play it. You're gonna hype it up all over your timeline, and you're gonna say it's better than Halo Infinite. We all know. Like, we've seen your shtick, so to speak. So it's just like they know how the majority of the PlayStation community acts around this stuff. It's a lot of talk. There ain't a lot of follow up on that talk. So they're gonna go do what they do until there's actual follow up to the we ain't down for this. We don't like that. And when you come out with trash content, we're not going to support it. Well, not when, if you come out with trash content, we're not going to support it. And that's how it's not unique to PlayStation or the community. It's how anything is.
Yeah.
Nintendo is the same way. Nintendo's not going to do any of the things that PlayStation and Xbox have. They're not going to improve online. They're not going to give you messaging. They're not going to do voice chat.
They don't have to.
They don't have to. They're not going to give you trophies or achievements. You don't complain about it. You don't act like you want it. Then they're not going to provide it. And even if you did complain about it, you're not going to stop like partaking in the platform. So what? What you going to do about it? Nothing. That's what we thought.
To what Lucas said about Xbox fans not getting hyped, I'm stating it officially now. I am booting up the hype train. I know I should have learned by now. It's been many years, but fuck it. One last ride on the hype train. Free tickets to everyone coming on. We're going all the way to the station, and if the train crashes and burns, oh well.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
Fuck it.
There's something to be said about that though, because like, you know, I was kind of thinking about it. Like I was very much looking forward to the PS showcase, and I'm looking forward to the Xbox showcase moderately because they still kind of, you know, burn their ass with me. But no, people on the one hand, we shouldn't have to, you know, temper expectations and not get hyped about an event that's coming for games that we hope to see, that we're looking forward to. On the same end of the spectrum, though, just, you know, we should also, if we're going to get ourselves hyped up, just know that there's a reality to it, that if things don't work out, then, you know, be aware that you let yourself get hyped up and the company may not have said, you know, this, that, and the third is coming that you were hoping to see. So I think, you know,
we'll see. What's up, Nautical?
Yeah. Well, what up, though?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Forte?
What up, though? That was interesting. Hype levels. Hype levels. I've never tempered expectations for anything, especially in gaming, because I have a ability to be able. I have the ability to be able to play wherever I want to. So if one lets me down, I can go somewhere else and play there.
I mean, we can all play anywhere we want to.
No. Some people can't.
Okay,
people can't.
Hardcore people in this community,
Yeah, but
all have every single fucking platform. The only
not
one
all of them. Some of them
okay?
have mortgage. Some of them have traded in their systems because they were fed up with other things. And I look at that as,
what systems are they trading in?
Their Xboxes.
Exactly. So
people
like
traded in their
majority
PlayStations too. I know people. Listen, I see people all the time. Right now, no lie, I have people that literally walk in the store and trade in PlayStations because PlayStation hasn't had anything for them. Guess what's going to happen if Xbox doesn't have anything for them? PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5.
I got 12 PlayStation 5s at my store right now, used. 12.
Okay.
Hey yo, I need one for my other room. You just slide one
discounts,
over here, man.
Discounts? No, bro. You gotta send me Cash App. There it is. But no, people trade their stuff in because they don't like what they're seeing. And guess what's going to happen at the Xbox showcase? Same thing. People may not like what they see or what they're hearing. That's when you got stuff, people like Logic going out there trading in his Xbox, canceling his Game Pass subscription because he doesn't like the direction that Xbox is going in. And that is like the ebb and flow of what gaming is, especially for the hardcore that can play wherever they want to. I'm just at that point where I'm like, I'm never going to temper because even if it's something that I'm not interested in, I just like the overall, I like the theatrics of it. I like to see cool things. And when you don't see those cool things, it kind of like lets you down a little bit. But I'm never going to be at that point where I'm like, I'm done with this and I'm done with that, because I could just go somewhere else, or I could just play. Or if you're lucky enough, you'll have one or two or maybe three games that you could just kind of fall back on, that you could just play when everything else is just trash around you. So it really just depends on how you go into it. But when it comes to Xbox right now, I feel like they're going to blow it up, because I feel like they're at a point now, they're going to show everything.
Okay.
I think they're going to show everything. I do. I think we're going to see Hellblade. I know we're going to see Hellblade. We're going to see Forza. We're going to see now how much of it we're going to see. No one really knows. It could be, 10-second footage drops or stuff and say see more whenever. But I do think we're going to see stuff like Fable. I do think we're going to see stuff like Avowed. I do think Contraband I'm up in the air on. I don't know. Could I still know what that? I don't even know if they know what that game is yet. They just showed us.
Can we discuss these kind of teaser trailers that, like, I think there's a way to do a teaser trailer that's fine. Like, I think Fair Games is okay as a teaser trailer because I got the gist of what the game is. It's kind of like a heist extraction kind of co-op PvE shoot. I got the gist of that just by looking at the trailer. Concord and Contraband, you know,
what are those?
don't know what that is. Like, if you now people can say, well, slow mo, I know what it is. Like, I looked at the blog after the, but like, I shouldn't have to look at a blog and read a blog to see what the game is. When you reveal the game, just revealing the game should be telling me what kind of video game experience this is. And I that's what I don't want to see at the showcase. I don't want to see any other teaser trailers like that again, where it's just like, it's almost literally you're just doing this to say, hey, we revealed this game, but did you really reveal it? Because no one knows what that is. It's just more of like, look at us, let's pat ourselves in the back for another game that we got coming that's revealed, but no one knows what that is.
Yeah, and
let me get a super chat. Shout out to JD saying, Microsoft, please wear a hold the line. We will hold the line. Shout out to the Iron Lords. I'm wearing their shirt right now. At the showcase, and say for those of you who held the line, we have something special. Bang! New IP. Thank you, JD. And shout out to Face23BKNY saying, forget what you see. One last thing. Redfall, anyone? Oh yeah, they did have Redfall as that one last thing. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, but that was also a 5-minute CG trailer, a 5-minute cinematic trailer that, like, not 1 second of that trailer shows up, or anything of that quality shows up in the actual game. Like, you gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm over it, dude. Like, I just don't care at this point. Like, and I hate to fucking say that. Like, it sounds super sad. Like, and shout out to all the people who are enthused and excited. Like, I'm not. Like, I wasn't super excited for the Sony show. I'm not super excited for this. I'm just kind of like, we'll see.
So what is it that you want? I hear that you just want all bang bang, shoot 'em up, stab games at these showcases.
I want less fucking indies. That's what I fucking want.
You ain't gonna get that.
I know I'm not gonna get that.
It's not enough games that come out in a year for them to do that.
Indies are the reason we got some of the games we got now.
Would you guys prefer shorter shows, but they only show bangers, or just how these shows are now?
Yeah, short. Definitely the former. Shorter shows, but all bangers, or content that people really like, the hardcore community really is looking for, and less filler.
You also remember that when Xbox used to do that, that's when all the indies were on PlayStation at the beginning of the PS4 era, and everybody was calling it the indie station, but that's where all the great games and stuff were, and that was part of the reason why Xbox fell behind on top of their other stuff. But everybody said Xbox didn't have the diversity, or the variety in games that PlayStation had, because PlayStation had all the indie games on their platform, and Xbox was just showing third-party and first-party games.
Only third-party and first-party games was the least of their fucking problems.
No, but I'm saying,
I understand what you're saying.
That was still part of the problem.
Part of the problem, but a very small part of the problem, considering all the other fucking issues they had.
But it was okay. You're right about that. Because you could
turn it around. Sony barely has, like, I mean, yeah, this was the fucking indie showcase for this, but they normally don't fucking show indies like that. You know what I'm saying? They just have their first party and their third party, and they're thriving.
That's not true. They made a living off the PS4 era. You got to think. You got to remember this, Luca.
The beginning of the PS4 era, and then it switched.
Yeah, because they got more games and more studios involved that actually started making their games later on, and that's where you see right now where PlayStation's sitting at. They blew their wad early in the generation. Everybody was wondering, like, all those people kept saying, "Oh, Sony wasn't affected by the pandemic and all this other stuff," and they were like, and they say PlayStation's putting out games on a consistent basis. Why can't Microsoft do that? Now you're starting to see that PlayStation got all their games out early. Now they're starting to, get to the point where they got that little low in content like they always do. They have it like once or twice every generation where all their games come out, and there's a good 2 to 3 year period where you might get 1 or 2 games, big games in a year, compared to like the last 2 years we were getting 3 and 4 of them.
Shout out to JD with the big dono saying Xbox will be showing the most graphically intensive games this generation. Thus far, both Hellblade and Forza Motorsport will look amazing. I do agree. I think they will look amazing.
Are we showing those on an Xbox or a PC?
Thank you.
They will be showing the most first-party AAA games launching in the next 18 months too. I love, you know what? I like that confidence. I love that energy. I wish I had that energy.
I think they're gonna show it
because I have nothing, JD.
I think they're gonna show that stuff too.
All right, they have drained the life out of me, dude. They have taken everything from me. I have nothing. Okay, so now I'm just sitting here, a shell of my former self, waiting for this greatness. Okay, I'm excited for you. All right, at least somebody is excited for this shit, man.
Yeah,
I'm just a fucking downer.
But back to the one thing where I want indies at the show. Because
I agree.
Indie games, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Over the past couple of years, I've had this feeling now for the past while. Indie games have been just dumpstering what the AAA industry has been putting out. Like in terms of enjoyability, the game not being too long. It comes, tells a story, does a good job, and then it leaves. It doesn't fill you with an entire map and you take 500 hours to explore around the map because everyone seems to want to go open world. And all of this is like taken away and it's more of a streamlined gaming experience. So I'd love to see indies because there's been a ton of fire indie / AA games.
I actually agree with Singer on that. Like, I'm not saying I want something like, Sony's show, but a balance. We need a balance because indies do drive innovation, and a lot of the AAAs that we have now are because indies took that chance first and they followed suit. And without the visibility, like, it is so hard to get visibility, in a sea of content. So at a big showcase like that, I'm not saying like, fill half the entire show with indies, but there do need to be some indies in there because, they literally are surviving like project to project, and, the right indie with a really good indie game that gets the good visibility, man, it can blow up. And then next thing you know, some years down the line, they might become our next AAA developer, So I just think there needs to be a balance, and sometimes they just don't hit the balance right with those showcases.
They don't know what they're doing. They suck. Okay, shout out to JD, and that's not just Xbox. Like, just they don't know what they're doing. Like, no one knows what they're doing. Shout out to JD Gamer saying very soon Xbox soldiers and PS fans will be watching, okay, and experiencing Xbox deliver banger after banger after banger. And who doubts that Hellblade and Forza will be the best looking games when they launch? Okay, yeah. I like that energy, man. You're kind of hyping me up now. Okay.
I do like his energy. I want to. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't wait to see him after the show.
I got a little question.
If he still has the same energy.
JD, I got to question you, JD. Where was this energy the last 2 days I saw you in person? You weren't talking like this, man. You weren't talking all happy and everything about Xbox.
Calling him out.
No, I'm just saying. He seemed like he was all, I mentioned the stuff with the Iron Lords and stuff and doing their stuff, and JD didn't say he seemed all down and stuff, and now he here all hype.
Forte. I'm so depressed about Xbox Forte. Yeah, he was in your store just crying. Did you have to give him a tissue?
No, I had to give him a tissue. He a grown man. He ain't that bad. Shout out to JD though. I do like his energy in here though. His energy's
too, because he's like making me feel a little bit better. Like, he's like
they still gonna show indie games, Luca.
Yeah, I know they're going to show indie games.
They still gonna show indie games. I know that
they're going to. So that's why I'm like, whatever, it'll happen.
It's gonna be a sizzle reel.
And you know what? I still will be. Let me tell you something. Regardless of how the show is, because I hope the show's great. I love the experience of being on Twitter during these showcases and after the showcases, because that shit is so goddamn funny. It's so much fun.
Live raw reaction to people.
Like the jokes, the commentary, like the energy, all of that. I fucking love that shit. I love being a part of it. I'm gonna see if I can go on RDX the week after the showcase, because I want to be with my Xbox family so we can be together. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where we'll see. We'll fucking see. All right, so let's talk about Redfall real quick. Just real quick, okay? Somebody got on my ass the other day. They were just like, "Bitch, why are you talking about this again?" I'm like, "Because new information came out." And he was just like, "I don't care, Luca. Move on." Next topic, okay? I'll see you next video. I was like, "Damn, okay, dude, my bad." So anyway, Jason Schreier came out with this fantastic article. I took screenshots because I'm not playing for Bloomberg.
Oh my god!
Sorry for that shit. Real bad. It was a bad bash out of the JD. All right, so let's see here. So Microsoft declined to comment on all this shit, obviously, and so did Harvey, whatever his last name is. But Harvey Smith. Basically, what we all fucking suspected. Redfall is not the game that they wanted to fucking make. Okay, they wanted Xbox to fucking cancel that shit. All right, and it was part of that initiative ZeniMax was doing, like back when fucking Youngbloods was being developed, back when fucking
Fallout 76,
yep. Elder Scrolls Online being like being put into that, all because of that initiative. They're like, we don't have enough money to sustain y'all. Somebody needs to fucking buy us expeditiously, or we need to find something to like continuous stream of revenue. I know that y'all are single player titles, but we need you to make this fucking multiplayer shit. Oh, you don't have any experience making multiplayer shit? We'll hire people. But no one who's applying for the job does multiplayer shit. Oh, okay. Yeah. They didn't listen. The developers didn't want this shit, man. They want this shit, and Microsoft didn't know that they didn't want this shit because they weren't fucking involved. They were, they took to heart what people were saying when people were complaining about Microsoft, not allowing creative freedom of these corporations, saying things like people were afraid that Microsoft, as they consolidate, they would stifle creativity and wouldn't let these developers do what they do. And they're just like, okay, fully hands off, no big deal. And that's the issue, right? There's too many goddamn extremes. It's either all in or all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the middle ground?
Right.
Where's the middle ground, man?
You can have creative freedom while also having quality assurance. That's what I feel like. That's been my motto all week long. You can still allow developers to make what they want to make while also making sure what they're making is something that you can actually present to a customer. It's you tell them, sorry, that's trash. Try again. Doesn't mean that, hey, go make Fortnite now. No, I'm not telling you what to make, but I'm telling you what you just made ain't gonna work. So make something else that you also want to make. It's just like there's a balance there. And it's interesting enough, if they would have paid attention, canceling the game would have been promoting creative freedom because they didn't want to make that.
Exactly. So it's like, would they have gotten, like, people would have looked at them a little bit spooky? Yeah. But it is what it is. Like that, I think them getting the little notch against them, or it's like, oh, Xbox is the big bad fucking wolf, I think that would have been better than what they actually got. So we can just move on from Redfall. Okay, we can move on. All right, we're moving on. Okay.
No, we're not moving on. That was that's BS. I don't believe
what. What's BS?
I don't want to hear that crap, dog. They sat there. I don't want to hear that. They sat there and said that we didn't want to make this game, and we had to make this game because this was back when we were doing Youngbloods and Copilot and all those other trash games that they was making. And they said we don't want to.
What is Copilot?
The Wolfenstein, Wolfenstein
Youngblood.
That's Youngblood.
That's Youngblood.
That's the other subtitle to the game, isn't it?
Copilot.
No, I have never heard of Copilot. What are you talking about?
There is one that's, oh my god, I can't remember. Okay,
they only made three.
About?
They only made 3 multiplayer, but they only made 3 games that were kind of like not really the kind of games they make. Fallout 76, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Redfall. Outside of that, I don't think they made.
Yeah, it does. Okay, same things. Back in the vein of those trash games that they was making. I don't want to hear this crap. Listen, Microsoft isn't Bethesda supposed to be independent to themselves? Isn't they still running their own business over there underneath Microsoft?
Yes, they are.
So why the heck couldn't they just cancel that game if they didn't want to make it? It was
the reason the developers
they were making
it, not the
it is because they needed to get
charge.
You said what?
It's because the developers didn't want to make it, not the people in charge.
Yeah, it's not leadership. Management wanted to make it.
Was fucking lying. Like, oh, okay, we can do the fucking arcane magic, just like that fucking BioWare magic.
BioWare
bullshit,
magic.
man.
Oh my, yeah,
Like it
that
was them.
stuff
It was Harvey and the other
never
dude who
works.
was in charge. Like, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine. And
So we put this on P. Hines and them. Got it. Okay. That's what it needs to be on then.
Yes,
oh, okay.
I mean,
So basically, P. Hines.
Did I say anything about Xbox being at fault?
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not
Because
saying
you-
Xbox.
it's
Is,
like-
I'm not
think
saying
they get
Xbox
some-
is at fault at all.
Hold on. Did I say anything about them being at fault?
Who said anything about Xbox?
Okay, because after I was finished speaking, you were like, "Hold on, that's bullshit." Like, what's bullshit?
No, I'm not
What's
talking about what
bullshit
you're.
about
No,
what?
I'm saying is BS that because Bethesda operates themselves,
Okay.
and this game could have got canceled a long time ago. This game still came out because they wanted this game to still come out.
Yes.
And they told Microsoft that and if this is the case, they told Microsoft that these developers wanted to make this game. Because guess what? If they didn't want to make this game, the Microsoft that we've been seeing running around here right now, they would have let them cancel that game if they really didn't want to make it.
Like I said, they weren't honest with them.
But
okay?
here's the thing: is
wait,
like,
hold on.
why am I still?
Because I was talking to him, and you started interrupting. Me and him were discussing this. We and him were having this conversation. Slow. Can I just finish my rebuttal to my point with him? I was saying to him, like, Nautical, you interrupted me.
Go ahead.
Is that not what happened?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Shout out to JD with Super Chat saying Xbox needs to take the coalition or someone and use the way PlayStation is using Bungie in the terms of quality control. They need a team that no game launches without them putting a stamp of approval on. Yeah, I can see that. Also, maybe what's his name? Matt Booty should do his fucking job, right? Like, I don't know. But what I want to say to that, Nautical, is like, yes, they were still governing themselves, but it was management they were the ones who wanted to push this game forward, even though it's like the team didn't actually want to make it. And they lost 70% of their fucking 70% of the people moved on to other projects or just left or whatever. Like, it's not even the same Arcane that worked on Prey, you know what I'm saying? And also, it's like, I will give him this. It is partially Xbox's fault for not being more involved in the entire process. They should have sent someone over and actually sat down and had conversations with them. Like, hey, do you guys like?
Do you even really want to make this game? They should have been like, y'all don't want to make this game.
They're too uninvolved. It's what we saw with fucking Halo Infinite when they showed us that goddamn disgusting Craig gameplay along with and then with the Redfall thing, they're just too uninvolved with everything. So. Okay, Slow-mo.
Oh, I can speak now. Oh, now. Well,
I don't know. I mean, you were interrupting me,
man.
sir. So I don't know.
Is that a hyena's head coming out the water in the background?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's from
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise. What I wanted to say was literally everything Luca just said. Plus, Xbox deserves some blame because they had enough of autonomy in the situation to tell them to cancel the PlayStation version of Redfall, but not enough to actually look at the game and see exactly what are you canceling. So like you're not even looking at the game. You're just like, just cancel the PlayStation version. That's not good enough. And then you actually went out there. They know how this works now because they saw it with Scalebound. If you go ahead and announce the game, you're pretty much committed to putting it out there at that point, which is why the majority of the games that do get canceled, they get canceled before we ever hear of them. And maybe we hear about them after the fact. Hey, there was this X kind of game that got canceled. You know, too bad. But we never hear about it until it's already done. They had the opportunity to cancel this before they revealed it, but not only did they reveal it as their one more thing, like it was going to be amazing, that just kind of just tells you that they put that up there. They paid for a expensive quality cinematic trailer of the game. It had no idea the level of the quality of the game. You can't like compare that to what their competition does. Nintendo was like, Metroid Prime, this Metroid Prime game is not working. We're firing the studio that is working on it. We're canceling this game and rebooting it with Retro Studios doing it, who we probably should have just did from the very start. Sorry, our bad. compare that to what PlayStation does. It's just like, yeah, you have to know what the heck you're putting out. And Luca brought up Halo Infinite. Yeah, this is what they do. They actually show games, and they have no idea what the game looks like. They watching it with us. Ooh, look at that. I mean, they watch the game. They watch the game. Wow.
Spectators too.
Yeah,
Wow,
no,
wow,
they don't know. They know about
yeah,
as much about the
there's
game as we do.
Yeah, but we got new moves in Hellblade 2 now. Like,
wow.
How do you not know that? You're seeing it with me. Is this your first time, buddy? Like, what? Why is that? Why is this a problem? Like, this should not be a problem. You should be looking at these things ahead of time. And if the people who are looking at these things ahead of time are still approving them, fire them people, because they clearly don't understand what quality is. They clearly do not have an eye for this is trash. This isn't going to work.
Didn't Phil Spencer say in an interview like before the showcase with Halo Infinite that he said, I played some of Halo Infinite and I really liked what I played or something like that?
I believe him. I believe him. I bet he did play that shit and I was like, this is fantastic.
No, I don't think he said it about I think he said it after they delayed it, and then it was like remember it was around the time of the interview when he was asked if Halo fails, is that it for Halo? He said that like the next following summer when he was interviewed about it, after they had decided they weren't going to delay it no more, and he was like, no, there's no Xbox without Halo, that kind of talk.
That's true. I mean, he's right. Like, what's up, my pony brethren?
What's up, my sister?
What's happening? What's happening,
man?
What up?
Another mister, the family here. You know what I'm saying? There's too much Xbox here.
First of all, my cat is on my ass because we're being anti-Xbox right now. What are you talking about?
Well, the cat. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you gotta be. You know, I'm gonna be.
What?
I'm allergic to cats.
It sounded like you said your cat was on your ass.
I said the chat.
Oh, I thought you said the cat.
It did sound like you said your cat.
So okay, let's think about this.
No, because I thought yeah, that's what I thought you were going with. You know, between Stray.
Why would a cat be on my ass for bashing?
Well, what? That's two. No, wait.
Cat,
so for one,
let's use our brains, boys.
To be fair, that sounds like a personal thing. And then number two, I thought you were making a joke on all the cat shit we've been seeing between Stray and Cats of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
It was funny. You know,
okay.
I thought you had like a feline thing.
I thought I was just having a little jokey joke. This shit ain't a joke.
It would have been a good joke. It would have been funny.
I said okay. You know what?
Cats of the Caribbean. Like
y'all were saying I said cat. Hold on, let me
Cats of the Caribbean. Cats of the Caribbean. Like, it's fucking terrible. Now she's listening and she's gonna be like, "Oh shit, you know what? Yeah, it did sound like cat."
I did say cat.
I didn't say she did. It just sounded
funny.
like cat.
It's funny because if she did say cat, she will apologize to you. She won't apologize to me, friend.
Well, she's my sister from another miss.
Are you still smarting from me saying that you interrupted me? Is that it? Are you still upset about
I'm
that?
not smarting at all.
I understand, man. I get it.
I'm just saying it is what it is. It's how I know how you are. Okay, I know you.
I think you're still smarting from you interrupting me and me saying like, wait a second for one moment, please. I think it's okay, Slow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
I know you're not.
This is exactly why I love this show.
Yeah, this show's amazing.
Shout out to KD Gamer with a $2 super chat. Says P Rock, what's up?
What's up, my friends, my family, and fellow gamers? Of course, the only friend these YouTube streets.
Why are you here, man?
I got to trademark.
I 100% said cat. Yeah, I said cat. I don't know why I said that.
Wow.
Yeah, my bad, man. I definitely said cat. You're right.
You know what? Just run with the joke. Just run with it.
Just run with that shit. I guess I have cat on the brain because of that fucking
goddamn PlayStation.
You know what? I apologize.
It's the cat station, Luca.
For the little attack 5. I did. You know what I'm saying? So my bad.
It's a cat-friendly platform.
Yeah. I got the cat in the brain, man. That actually makes sense. I was just talking to one of my friends and their cat passed away. So I think plus all the cats we were talking about, I think a lot of it has to do with that. So but yeah, so hold this L, sis. Okay, you're doing a little bit. You know what? I will hold the L. Matter of fact, it's an L. Give Luke an L because I take my L's with grace. All right, I'm all good with it. I don't care. So
can you guys hold that like button too? Because
can we at least do that?
Yeah,
it's like 51
hit-
likes and
listen.
like 100 people here.
Yeah, I
What do you got
mean,
going?
Hit the
seriously,
like
dude, come
button
on,
if you
man.
think Luca deserves an L. You gotta know, hey, Luca, you gotta know how to play the game.
Yeah.
Hit that like button if you think she caught an L. There you go.
Porter Rock, what do you expect to see at this Xbox showcase?
Oh man.
This is gonna be fun.
So here's the thing. Here's a question. I was gonna make a video on this, but screw it. I got good people here. You know what I'm saying? I got this conversation. Yeah, I know. But let me ask you this: is this really gonna be an Xbox showcase or a Game Pass showcase? That's two different
one
things.
and the same.
We already know.
No.
Yeah, they're one and the same.
No, they're not.
Game Pass,
No. It's two different things, right?
No, they're one and the same, man.
No, I'm gonna tell you, because if you're saying Xbox Showcase, then there's expectation of talking about their first party. Hey, do they have Avowed? Do they have Hellblade? We like in the same way we had the expectation of a PlayStation Showcase, and Xbox Showcase has a certain moniker behind it, right? But if it's a Game Pass Showcase, right? If it's a Game Pass Showcase,
PlayStation lean on their whatever service they use for people to play games the same way Xbox leans on Game Pass.
But that's my point. What I'm trying to say.
It's like they're one in the same, man.
No, think about it. Because if it's a Game Pass showcase, if you got a third-party game that's day one on Game Pass, did they not fulfill the mission? Under the moniker Game Pass showcase, hey, look at all these third parties day one on Game Pass. Is that not a successful Game Pass showcase? It would be.
I mean,
because it did the job. It did the job.
I mean, yeah, but
if
they show like say the next Battlefield game there next week, that Battlefield game's not going to be day one in Game Pass. Then it is just an Xbox showcase at that point because
here's the thing.
That
that's
won't
my
be
point.
on Game Pass.
So good point. What if they don't show any multi-plat? Like let's say like Battlefield, all these big ones, but none of them are there because they're not showing those games because they're showing games specifically the deals they made with Game Pass. So if it's not a Game Pass deal, we're not showing it to you. Sure, Battlefield's on Xbox, but it's not going to be at this show because we couldn't get the deal for game. And see, that's what I'm trying to say. Because Xbox and Game Pass is not synonymous. Xbox is like the device to support Game Pass. And if it's a Game Pass showcase, you're going to see Game Pass-centric games that they deal with. And I'm telling you, you're going to hear this. We're going to have to count how many times they won on Game Pass or something like that. Somebody please keep track how many times they say that. Because you're probably going to hear that.
Ask you something.
Or take a shot every time.
Let me ask you something.
Let's do that. Let's make it a drinking game. Luca, let's do it. Let's do it.
I would die.
Every time we hear every time anybody says, and it's day one on Game Pass, you got to take a shot.
Okay, so let's say they do have a Game Pass centric show, but what they show is like absolute fire, banger after banger, whatever, right? Who's getting the W for that? Are people going to be like, wow, that was a fantastic Xbox show? Or are people going to be like, wow, that was a great Game Pass show?
Well, it depends what the bangers are, right? If the gamers, because you can have banging third-party games, and they say, hey, it's whatchamacallit, they want a Game Pass, right? But is that an Xbox-centric show? What if they hardly show any first-party? Or maybe they only show like one or two? Technically, let's say it's like the PlayStation Showcase version. It's a show, very little first-party presence, or if they do show first-party, it's nothing but CGI, hardly any gameplay trailers, but there's a lot of third-party that's day one on Game Pass. Is it a successful show or is it not successful? This is where I'm thinking I don't know what to expect. Because to be honest, if it's a Game Pass-centric show and they show lots of third-party day one, I personally think they did their job. They did exactly what it is. Now, if you ask me, it's an Xbox showcase. That's a different expectation for me.
But
I would like to see gameplay of Avowed. I would like to see a little bit of gameplay of Hellblade.
That's the thing. Like Xbox is different. Things. I hate to fucking say this, but Xbox is different from PlayStation and Nintendo. Like there's different expectations there. People saying like the majority of us, when there's like, oh, Xbox showcase, yeah, we're about to see a bunch of fucking indie titles. We're about to see some third-party shit. That's why people were saying that PlayStation showcase that they just had, that was like, I watched that. I was like, oh, this is like an Xbox showcase because they didn't show shit, man.
Yeah.
So it's like for me going into it, if they have like a Game Pass showcase or whatever, and it's like if they don't show any first-party shit, I do think that's an L. But if overall the show is good, then it still gets a W because like I judge the shows based on how the show is along with the content that they present, you know? So it's like when I was discussing my score for PlayStation, I said, I think they did a very good job presenting all the titles. They did not bore the fuck out of me in the sense that it's like they had people just yap, and I'm not trying to fucking hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear y'all talking. I just want to see these games. They showed game after game after game. It was a good format for the show. It's just the content was garbage, you know? So it's like that also goes into it. But shout out to Grizzly Bear King. Okay, first timer to this channel. What's up, man? Saying Porter Rock. Oh, Mr. P Rock brought me here. Oh my God, Porter Rock bringing people to my channel.
There you go.
Okay, I see you. Howdy, Luca and crew. What's up, man? Thanks so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, if they don't show any first party, if they don't show any first party, that's gonna have all of us looking at them like, what are y'all doing? Because it's been fucking years since you. Who is sweeping in the background?
Not me.
Okay,
It got real quiet.
It's exactly
everybody got something and be like, Lucas was about to flip out.
I was muted, so
yeah. To P Rock's point, to your point, P Rock, like I get what you're saying, but the thing is like when Luca asked the question, so if it's a good show with first party, third party, you know, yada yada, are people going to say it was a good Game Pass show or Xbox show? 99% of gamers are going to say it was a good Xbox show because that's the two are associated together. I get what you're saying, but most gamers are going to associate the two together. And the first thing they're going to say anyway is, man, did you see that game? You know, XYZ, man, it looked awesome. And it's going to be day one in Game Pass. We've heard it a million times ad nauseum. So I get your point, but yeah, most people definitely are associating one with the other. And that's how they're going to view it, you know, regardless of the quality of the show.
For me, I don't care if it's an Xbox show or a Game Pass show. Where's the gameplay at?
Yeah, exactly.
That is exactly. my personal criteria, or whether it's going to be good or not, is how much gameplay I'm actually seeing, and how and what updates I'm getting off of the games that they show teaser trailers for, or like, you know, small little announcements for 2-3 years ago that we haven't had any updates on, or the studios that they acquired back in 2018 that still hasn't shown us anything whatsoever. Like, that's what I'm considering my criteria of, like, is this a good show or not? If they show me gameplay of Avowed, Hellblade 2, and Fable, and they all three of them look good, that's a fire show to me. I don't care about the rest of it.
I want to add,
three alone make it a fire show for me. But
I mean, for me, all I care about, I'll be honest, is really Hellblade, because I think realistically, that's probably the one game they could have something. Because it shouldn't have. Hellblade is not the type of game, unless they completely re-strategize what the franchise is going to be. Because now they fall under Xbox, they have more money. But Hellblade wasn't originally designed to be a 5-year project. It was like, you know, 2-3 year project with AAA quality, like, you know, characteristics. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't supposed to be a 5-year project when they first made the game. Maybe that changed, but I think if there's any game at this point that could reasonably be at this showcase, I think it would be Hellblade. Fable, I don't know. That might be
Fable will be there. Avowed and Forza will be there.
Okay. Clip that.
Avowed is pretty much a guarantee.
Luca, when's your next show after the showcase?
I don't know, man.
We're gonna hold
probably
it
the day after.
We're gonna hold it to you, bro. You said it.
That's if I had to feet to the fire, gun to the head, you had to say what first party will be there guaranteed. Hellblade, Forza, Avowed. They would be my 3 picks. Those are going to be there. Fable, presumably from the Tease, that'll be there. Now, if you ask me if Perfect Dark or these other games would be there, I'd tell you absolutely not. No way.
So you think Fable has a better chance of being there than Hellblade?
No, I just said Hellblade will definitely be there.
Okay. Oh no, okay. I thought you all right. What was your 3 again?
3.
What was the 3?
He's got hay in his ears.
Avowed, Forza, and
Fable.
Hellblade.
No. You said Avowed, Forza, and Fable. See, I knew I'm not crazy.
No, I said Hellblade.
All right, let's run it back.
Run it. Yeah.
He said presumably based on the teaser, Fable. He said presumably based on the teaser.
Yeah, but he mentioned 3 games.
I didn't guarantee it.
He said Fable, Forza, and Avowed. He didn't mention Help. You didn't know. You didn't. That's 4 games.
He mentioned
you
Hellblade.
mentioned 3.
No, he mentioned Hellblade. He said Hellblade, Avowed, Forza, and presumably from the trailer, Halo.
That's
or Fable.
Luca, rewind that. Rewind the clip. we need evidence.
Well, I think what's really important that Singer, do you think there'll be Fable gameplay? I'm a little uncertain on that part. I think Fable will be there. I don't know about gameplay.
Nah, I think there'll be gameplay.
The second most important part about that is, will there be Series X gameplay? Because I'm tired of this.
I'm
tired
Ramon, my brother.
That annoys the hell out of me. It's like I'm at an Xbox showcase. I own an Xbox.
Okay, guys.
That this one that could reasonably be at this showcase, I think it will be Hellblade. Fable, I don't know. That might be
Fable will be there. Avowed and Forza will be there.
Okay. Clip that.
Avowed is pretty much guaranteed.
Luca, when's your next show at the showcase?
All right, so
keep going. Keep going.
I don't know. We're gonna hold it the day after. We're gonna hold it to you, bro. You said it.
If I had to feet to the fire, gun to the head, you had to say what first party will be there guaranteed. Hellblade, Forza, Avowed.
Okay, I take the L.
Yeah, take the L. Thank you very. I know what I said, sir.
The L belongs to me. Hey, hit the like button if you feel I get the L.
Hey, shout out to
you're gonna have 300 likes, Luca.
Shout out to JD with the big dono saying, you are P-Rock and Pano. You are Microsoft, okay? Your mission is to destroy PlayStation and Sony. What third-party exclusives do you go after? What acquisitions do you go after? What first-party exclusives do you promote? What marketing techniques do you use?
Yeah, that's a
What's
lot.
coming out in third party?
Oh man, where do I start? All right.
Okay.
All right.
What's coming out in third party?
For third party, because again, obviously the company is all about Game Pass. I would try, and yes, I'm living in a mystical world, but if I have access to the full resources of Microsoft, right, this $2 trillion company, I'm gonna say, hey, we need to get Mortal Kombat Day 1 on Game Pass. I don't give a fuck what we need to pay. Commit to the plan. Hold the line. Take the taxpayers' dollars. All right. Hey, the United States committed to Iraq at the cost of the taxpayers' dollars. So guess what? We're gonna commit to Game Pass. I don't care how much it costs. Mortal Kombat Day 1 on Game Pass. I will go after that because that game is gonna be huge. I guarantee that's gonna be a huge. I mean, hell, they did it with MLB The Show, right? So commit. That's who I will go after. They may look at it as crazy, but I'd be like, hey, listen to King David. Hold the goddamn line.
Hold the line.
Commit to the cause.
Commit to the cause. First party, I will show. I'm showing Avowed. I'm showing Hellblade. Yes. I'm showing Forza. I'm
showing all of it.
I'm showing another Gears. What else do they have?
Oh shit.
They have a ton of games.
Oh, Fable! I'm showing Fable gameplay. Okay. Gameplay for all of those. If they show gameplay for, oh god, please don't click.
In Exile's new game, Compulsion's new game.
Now,
secure a new Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
What marketing techniques do they use?
Only reason is because Itagaki won't be making it.
And that's right.
So we already seen how that looks like.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
We already seen. Now, what I would commit is I would bring back Killer Instinct. Because that is perfect for Game Pass, right? Because you'll have the seasonal characters. Just let that game grow in Game Pass. All the seasonal characters.
But who makes it?
Right.
But who makes it for you?
At this point, I need my team to discuss such strategies. Give it time.
Marketing techniques
I'll get back to you on that one.
Marketing techniques I use. I already took a W for letting people know that all those games they showed at PlayStation's showcase going to be on Xbox too, baby. So we're already in the right direction when it comes to marketing. They're doing the right thing when it should with their little alleged Fable tease. I think they're going good with that. As for acquisitions, I don't think they need anyone else. I think they need to focus on managing the studios that they have now, focus on merging them more together so they come under the Xbox umbrella and they actually, it's a cohesive unit. They know what they're working on. They know that people want to work on the title and, they know what games are coming out from their studios. Work on that. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. What third party exclusives do I go after? I'm gonna start, instead of games that are already in development that's already gonna cost me an arm and a leg, to secure. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over the Marvel Studios, drop a bag on their head, and say, "Look, I want id Software to make the next Punisher game."
Yes.
And it's gonna be a first person shooter. It's gonna be blood and guts everywhere, bullet hell, all that stuff, and let id Software cook. So I'm gonna go get licensed games, licensed IP, and then leverage that with the talent that I already have with the studios, what they're already able to do, and then I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, that's a good one. They definitely need a Marvel IP. They need a Marvel IP.
And then I'm going to figure out what studio is in my stable that could handle a good third-person over-the-shoulder game. I'm going to go to DC, drop a bag on them, and get a Coalition. Okay.
Yeah, the Coalition could do that.
Get the rights for Green Lantern, and I'm going to create a Green Lantern game that not only takes place on Earth, but also has a large.
Whoa! Hold on. That idea belongs to PlayStation. You already gave that idea. You said that idea on my podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that.
We got the exclusive, and I think
not you trading ideas based on what kind of platform you're on. You're on a box channel.
No, I totally forgot. No, I talked about that. I talked about that on his show, and I completely forgot.
And
I completely forgot I talked about that.
I think you also mentioned Aquaman. I was like, holy shit, I will buy those games.
Oh damn! I forgot I talked about. Damn, I need more coffee apparently.
This question is loaded.
Oh, here's another idea. If they are concerned about how much it would cost to, say, secure DC titles, a licensed IP, how about you just still go into the comic book arena, but just go to some of the lesser known ones like Image Comics or Dark Horse.
Spawn.
Get Spawn. Do a Spawn game.
A Darkness remake. That would be. Oh, I would love that.
Getting exclusive rights to those IP is going to be far more cost efficient. And I mean, we us comic book fans know the potential of those IP. People, I mean, of course, like popular stuff like Spider-Man sells because everyone loves Spider-Man. But like, people will be down for something that's cool. There's a reason why those IP are, and whenever they were like those series were running, were popular at a time because it was quality content. Take that quality content, put it with a quality developer, make a quality game.
Yeah, Darkness was a great game when it came out.
What third-party exclusives do you go after now? Because this is Microsoft now. I'm just gonna go balls to the wall. I'm gonna pull up to Take-Two, drop my meat on the table, drop the bag on the other side of the table, and say, how much money do you want for just 1 year of GTA 6 time? If they say $1 billion, give them the $1 billion, whatever. You're blowing 69 on Activision. Who gives a shit?
$1 billion gets you 2 days.
I mean, okay.
They give you 2 days of preview.
I mean, okay.
You're talking about a game that's been selling since 2013. Right. It's sold like what, 130 copies?
We'll give you 30 minutes.
They're like, hey, Microsoft puts imagine Microsoft, they put a bag of $5 million and be like, how many days of exclusivity this gives us? They'll be like 5 hours. They'll launch 5 hours before PlayStation version.
The question is, you are MS and you're missing this to destroy.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm MS and I got this huge stack of money, I'm going up to them and going, what's the price? Give me the price. Because I guarantee you that 1 year of GTA 6 will sell you a fuck ton of consoles. Like that will.
Oh yeah,
it will. It will absolutely.
It will
and they're probably the only one that can afford to whatever price Take-Two actually provides. But I think Davey DRC 55 in the chat had like an awesome suggestion. Someone needs to make an Invincible game, and you think about that, like an Invincible game.
That is good.
That would, as hot as that TV show is right now, like that would be amazing. I don't know who would make it, who would do a great job with it, but like I think that would definitely work.
Hey, yo, Davey DRC's on fire because he also said get Remedy to make a Doctor Strange game.
Yeah.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
would be nice.
yeah,
That
that's
would be
that
nice.
spooky
Yeah.
atmosphere.
That would be nice.
Ooh.
That could work. That could work.
Yeah.
Listen,
And-
we need to trademark these ideas. We're giving
Yeah.
too many good ideas out.
Yeah, for real.
We're missing on that bag.
Right.
In response to the other part of his question of what acquisitions do you go after, here's what I do. I don't bother with Activision Blizzard. I take that 69 billion and I put it into just buying up these smaller teams where you're not going to get blocked. So IO was really talented, right? You snap those up. I know CD Projekt said they didn't want to sell, but you park the dump truck big enough, you get CD Projekt because you want that studio, and then you go after some small. I would say
CD Projekt lost the developers who worked on like The Witcher 3. They don't have the same people there.
The heads are still the same.
Not
I
the
think.
who cares about the heads? I'm talking about the talent.
Yeah, the heads are the reason we got Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well, at least the way we got in the state
Yeah.
that we got.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's
It's
what
an
I
awesome.
mean. Yeah.
Play the
It's
game
a
now.
fun
You'll
game.
probably really enjoy.
I mean,
it
I
right
enjoyed
now,
myself. Like I put 50 hours in it when it first came out, and I had a good time with it. I just didn't beat it, you know.
Yeah. I should have said the reason we got the Cyberpunk launch that we got.
I mean, I'm with you 100%. Like,
I
Luca-
1000% think Phantom Liberty is going to launch broken just because it's CD Projekt Red. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, Luca alluded to a great point. Like, it's not like last gen. Like now, this gen, because of, I guess, the shortage of developers, they leave quickly because they know they could go to better pasture. So, like, the studio, like, in one moment, hey, the studio's great. They create great games. And before you know it, the people who actually made that studio great, they're not there no more. And you're wondering what happened to the studio. And you didn't realize, like, the team is different. It's not the same team. It's just the same team in name, but like in a blink of an eye, they're gone, and you don't realize it till like a year or two later, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't even know these guys left." And they're like,
which is exactly why Sony
so
dropped that
fast.
bag on Bungie to keep folks there.
It's just crazy how you could love a studio and the studio that you enjoyed is not the same studio anymore.
I mean,
they're
me and Slomo know that firsthand with BioWare.
Just thinking about BioWare.
BioWare.
The same people, man.
Well, that's what I'm experiencing with Naughty Dog right
They
now.
might as well just change the name of the studio.
But you know, like Naughty Dog could change eventually. Like a few key people, and it's done.
That's what I'm experiencing. That's what I'm saying. Maybe not for everybody else, but that's my experience with Naughty Dog right now. They used to be my favorite developer, and now I'm not particularly excited about any news they got coming.
Really? Why is that?
Well, it has nothing to do with the quality of their output. The quality is unquestionable. It's just they turned in a direction that doesn't speak to me anymore. I don't like post-apocalyptic. I don't like zombies. I don't like.
So what? They stopped being your favorite studio in 2013. When did The Last of Us come out?
Well, Last of Us came out in 2013.
Yeah, so
but they were still doing stuff like Uncharted.
So I played because I literally was in the camp of anything Naughty Dog puts out, I'll play. So when they announced The Last of Us and I started seeing it, I'm like I wasn't excited, but I was like, you know what? I know Naughty Dog's quality, so I played it, and on the one hand, top quality. Loved the game for what it was, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Uncharted because it's not my type of content. So I'm not saying Naughty Dog is going downhill.
What other games do you like from Naughty Dog?
Oh, the Jack and Daxter games, all the Uncharted games.
They're coming off a new IP. What if it's like akin to Uncharted and less so The Last of Us?
Then I will be there day one. You know, but based on what Neil Druckmann said, Neil Druckmann seems to be going the Precious route. On what Precious, like every game has to be like emotionally precious. Like he's saying that the next thing they do, there has to be a strong component of love or something like that. Like he's going really hard with the
storytelling.
Well, not the storytelling, but the emotional drama and the exploration of feelings and stuff. Like I'm framing it wrong. I know I'm framing it wrong, but he's going in a very emotional side of storytelling, and it's like I think that's great, and there's a place for it, but I feel like he's leaning into it a little bit more than what I like. Again, I'm not speaking
Not a
to
fan
quality.
of The Last of Us 2? But those are dangerous words around here, buddy boy. Not here, but like here.
Oh, I already know. Like
not here, but like here.
Hey, right
the
now,
the reason I'm hesitant.
I'm across the room staring at you. I'm like, go ahead, say the wrong thing.
Well, there's one major reason why I do not discuss my feelings.
Place. Forget what Porter Rock said. This is a safe place.
This is a safe place.
Well, no, the
your
reason,
mind, sir.
The reason why
I will see you Tuesday.
The reason why I don't discuss my feelings on The Last of Us 2 is because I mean, rightly speaking, I can't, because although I know the story. what was that?
I said fear. I said fear.
No, I really can't discuss it because
you didn't play it?
Yeah, I watched it, but I didn't play it.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I can respect that, though.
But didn't I just say that's why I don't discuss it? That's why I don't discuss it. I've watched the storyline. I've watched everything, but I don't discuss it, even though I don't like it.
I can understand that as like a storyteller. Okay,
he did
I'm
some
about
things.
to get some people up in the chat on my ass. Okay, listen. I said this back when this game came out, and I was like, I need y'all to understand, I'm not playing this game. I didn't play it. Okay, I just read through the plot points and I saw a playthrough. You know, I was trying to make it clear to people. I'm not like, I'm just saying narratively, just like from what I saw, there were some things that didn't make sense. But like, I'm not. Listen, I didn't. What do I know? What do I know? But I can understand more to Ramon's point, because Ramon is an author. You know what I'm saying? An excellent one at that. Matter of fact, hold on. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Keep talking.
Well, like as far as like, structure wise, they did some things that I didn't like. I mean, everybody has agreed on the pacing thing, that it had pacing issues, but some of the story structure, the way he introduced characters after they did certain things, and then the way the on the nose methods that they did to get you aligned with with Abby. And then what was it? There was one other thing that like in the whole Joel debate, and how people are like, Joel was a villain and this and that. And I'm like, it's easy to sit back and say that. And to put it out there, I was expecting Joel to roll out, so it wasn't any big surprise or revelation that Joel rolled out. I think we were all expecting that. But like, the painting him as a villain because of the things that he did. I'm sorry, I don't have kids, but if I had gone through what Joel went through, and to see Ellie unwittingly unconscious, thinking that she's providing a cure and is going to wake up, but in truth is actually about to die and doesn't know it, and wasn't able to make that decision for herself in that way. Like, I can't say what I would have did, because for all intents and purposes, that was his daughter to him.
Okay. What's this, y'all? Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, Luca.
I'm reading that right now. Well, not at the moment, but I'm reading. Y'all know what I mean.
He read it right on the podcast.
When you're reading,
are you
book,
distracted reading stuff?
I'm not reading it literally at this moment, but it's my current book to read.
Like I said, honestly speaking, Last of Us 2, oh God, hear it. Please don't jump me. I'm just offering my perspective as like an outside person. Okay, outside source, just please leave me be. I'm just saying that I thought the story would go in a different direction and focus more on like Ellie and the cure and like all that stuff, instead of it being a revenge plot. Did The Last of Us 2 have any of those like aspects of it? I don't recall. Porter Rock?
So, anyway, the game's been out for a while. So,
spoiler alert for The Last of Us Part 2.
So pretty. This is how I took the game, right? So originally, like most gamers, we kind of are like black and white to the characters. We have the good guys and the bad guys, right? So when we played The Last of Us Part 1, Joel and Ellie are the good guys, and then the Fireflies are the bad guys, right? And kind of like what Ramon alluded to, the game specifically has an emotional attachment. You saw the relationship grow between Joel and Ellie. And then ultimately, he has to make a decision, and they're telling him they're about to kill the girl, which he had no idea he was doing. He had no idea that he was delivering this girl to her death sentence, and he grown attached to her. So as a father, I agree with Ramon. You're gonna do that, boom, you end the game off. Hey, Joe's the good guy, whatever. Then part 2 comes up, and the first thing you do, first thing like 10, 20 minutes, whatever, Joe gets his ass beat like meticulously in front of the eyes of Ellie, and she witnessed the one person she sees as a father figure just get completely dismantled by this She-Hulk type beast known as Abby. And in the beginning, you're just pissed the fuck off because you killed the good guy, right? And that's how we are black and white with video games. You kill the good guy. So you're like, all right, it's time to play the role Ellie. I get where the game's going. It's time to kill this bitch. We're going to Seattle. We're going to fuck her up. But then along the journey, you start to learn more about Abby, and you're like, holy shit. Technically, Joe shot her father right in front of her face. And there's this little girl who probably doesn't understand what's going on. She doesn't understand the relationship between Ellie and Joe, none of that. All she knows is her dad tried to help the world, and this guy just put a bullet in her, right? So she just grew up with revenge, military training, and that's all she's focused on, right? So now you're thinking, all right, what the hell's going on here? And I think what Neil did was he created a world that there is no good guy, bad guy. It's just human civilization, and everybody's trying to find their own way to survive, at the cost of others, survival. And that's all it is. And that's what I took from the game, that there is no good guy or bad guy in this world. It's just an example of just people doing what they think is right within their own ecosystem community at the cost of others.
Also,
once I saw the game as that, I'm thinking, holy shit, this fucking game's amazing. Because I haven't played a game where now I look at it from a perspective of it's just characters making the best decision that they can within their own realm. It's just that's all it is. And I thought I thought that was phenomenal because it's just different from the traditional black and white. You're the good guy, you're the bad guy. That's just how the game is.
And if you go back to the first game,
hold on, give me 1 second. Maybe I just don't understand how storytelling and plot points work. Ramon, would you say the focus on the cure and that being the reason why Joel has to take Ellie across country or whatever the fuck, is that not like a central plot point?
Well, not only is it the central plot point, but it's what kicked off the entire story.
Yeah, it's so maybe
it's very central.
So
he wouldn't have Ellie and Joel would never have gotten to know each other if it wasn't for the fact that she was supposedly carrying the cure, because he didn't want to be bothered with anybody. He didn't even want to be close to her in the beginning. So if the possibility of the cure in her is what brought them together in the first place.
So let me provide an alternate perspective, right? So the journey for the cure is what brought them together. But what was the very first thing we learned about Joel? Right from the beginning, is he lost his daughter.
That's his daughter. So
that right there is the key to the whole thing. Because he lost the one thing he loved the most, and it's gone. Now he meets a little girl named Ellie, who he really didn't give a shit about. He didn't even want to do the job. The only reason he did the job is because Tess got killed, and she asked him to promise that she will deliver him. That's the only reason why he did it. And along the way, Ellie brought that love back into him. The love that he lost years ago. You see what I'm saying? So while you can easily look at the main thing of, it's all about the cure, but remember, the first thing Naughty Dog wanted you to know about Joe is he lost his daughter.
Okay, I think that's fair.
That's the first thing that you learn about Joe. And since then, he didn't have it. He didn't give a shit about anything else until he met Ellie. Now, Ellie replaced his daughter. That is his new daughter. That is what he wants more than anything else, because along the journey, he developed that. And now you're telling them a government or some type of organizing body is once again going to kill the one thing he loved. He already experienced that the first time. He's not going to allow someone else to decide the fate of what he loves.
Imagine how much you would lose your mind.
Yeah, you're gonna go through that again. It was a soldier.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a soldier that killed his daughter. Now the Firefly is gonna kill his new daughter. Hell no. I'm done with that. How many daughters is he gonna lose? Yeah,
exactly.
The Fireflies. You know it from the beginning when they're bombing like stations in parts of Boston in the beginning of the game. where innocent people are, caught in the crossfire.
Mhm.
They were not
There
good
there are
guys
no
for the
good
very
guys in this
start.
story.
Yeah, and
Very
then
interesting.
they took away Ellie's ability to choose themselves. Like
Mhm.
even though we found out later on that Ellie would have decided to go through with it and give
She
up
was
her
a
life for the
She was a
opportunity.
child, though. Like, kids have a
Yeah,
different understanding of these kind of things than adults do.
And
yeah,
as
and
far as
they did not give her the choice. They
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
lied to her and told her, "Hey,
exactly,
you're gonna go through the surgery. Everything's good though." But they knowing that like doing the surgery, whether it was going to be successful or not, which wasn't a guarantee, would take her life. Like they are no better than Joel, and people who try to portray it as if
Interesting.
Joel is this monster that destroyed the cure. One, there was no guarantee it was going to happen. It was going to work, and
Mhm.
two, they didn't give her a choice either. So it's just like who like
and then when we
people who
fast
choose sides are just weird to me.
exactly, yeah, and then when we fast forward all the way, as far as at the end of Last of Us 2, like Abby got to have her life, but everybody else, like, well, not everybody else, but like Ellie is left with nothing. Like, I understand
Her
that,
fucking choice, though, right?
huh?
Wasn't that her choice?
That's my whole thing. Is she has this life with her with her wife, and she had a daughter. I can't remember if daughter or son, but anyway, with their child, and she gives all of that up to go out for revenge, and in the end ends
Revenge
up
she
with
does. She doesn't even
that
go
she doesn't go through with because
Yeah.
because after mowing through 60,000 people, she can't do this one last. Which okay,
Yeah.
even if we
No,
take that,
I
yeah,
understand that. Yeah.
even if we take that at face value, it's like she's literally left with absolutely nothing, not even the fingers to play the guitar that Joel gave her. So it's like I get that, I get the storytelling and what the storytelling was doing, but and maybe this comes down to a taste thing. I don't like walking away from my air quotes entertainment depressed. And like I say, maybe that's a taste thing
I
for
think
me.
that's a taste thing because I'll give an example. What Remains of Edith Finch was extremely fucking depressing, but that is a fantastic story. And like everything about that game is amazing, I think. Like visually and how they told the story. And I mean, again, guys, it's a fucking indie title, so maybe y'all are shocked to hear me say that, but that is genuinely a good game with a good story.
Yeah.
And it's extremely depressing. And I'm gonna keep real with you. After I played it, I was like, I'm never playing anything like this again. Like that shit had me upset. I was upset, man. Because it's just like everyone just, well, no spoilers, but like it's just a depressing game. So it's like I do think it's like a matter of perspective. You can have like a preference where you're just like, I don't really, this story doesn't really vibe with me. But that doesn't necessarily make it a bad story per se, even though there are some plot points where you're like, what is going on? But Porter Rock, I want to say thank you so much for explaining that to me, because like you've been the only person to like explain the plot in a way that makes me say, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you were the only one who was concise about it, but also detailed enough where I'm just like, okay, yeah, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone else is just like, they get so upset and defensive about the game. I'm not taking shots at anyone in the chat. I'm talking about everything that happened when that game came out. And like, there were people 100% being transphobic and homophobic, but there
It was
were also
terrible.
other people just expressing critique. And so but it all got mixed and melded together. And it was just a really ugly time, which is why like during all that I was like, I'm not talking about any of that shit, you know what I'm saying? But like you're like the only person who's been able to explain it in a way where there's like no like over emotional stuff involved, which there's nothing wrong with being overly emotional, because emotion, like that's a very important, like it's very important, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to say thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's because I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets.
Exactly. Yes. One of my favorite ponies. Okay, anyway, we can just move on from that. So let's just talk about Bobby Kotick, and then let's do this one more topic. I mean, which is the channel member topics, and we can go. All right, so Bobby Kotick is a very interesting guy. I'm not gonna lie. 100%, he was definitely aware of the shit that they were doing. He is a guy. All right. So here, listen, Bobby Kotick, right? He said, listen, we've had every possible form of investigation done.
Oh my God.
We investigated ourselves and decided that we didn't do shit. Where have we heard that before? But anyway, we did not have a systemic issue of harassment ever. we didn't have any of what were mischaracterizations reported in the media, Kotick asserts. But what we did have was a very aggressive labor movement working hard to try and destabilize the company. Kotick places the blame for most of Activision's image problems on what he calls outside forces and labor activity around the company. The Communication Workers of America and Activision employees have filed a stream of complaints against the company with the National Labor Relations Board. Kotick believes labor organizers are influencing the state and federal investigations into harassment and gender discrimination claims, as well as the Activision employee walkouts that have been staged. I mean, there's multiple meanings of the word stage, but staged periodically since 2021. So Bobby Kotick is an interesting he is an interesting guy. 100% they were doing that fuck shit up in Activision Blizzard. This statement that he released a few days ago, I'm like, they were doing that shit. They were doing that shit because that is just too spooky. This is like a fucking spooky ass statement, dude. But you know what? I appreciate people who are just like, no, we weren't doing that shit. I don't know what you're talking about. And just like unapologetic about it instead of like the fake apologies. Cause it's like, you know, you guys know, like you don't feel bad about that shit. I can't stand a fake fucking apology. But I do think it's very fun. He's like, listen, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if any of what you read in the inflammatory narrative was truthful. No board of directors in a non-controlled company is going to allow the CEO of an enterprise to stay running the enterprise if those things were truthful. I almost said the N-word. I was like, sir, this is fucking America. What are you talking about? CEOs lying is like a thing, brother. What do y'all think?
I feel like in the interview they ask if you're willing to lie, and then you don't get the job if you say no.
Like what are you talking about, man? He's like he's a rich old dude. Okay, you know what I'm saying? If I was rich and old, I'd probably be like harassment. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like what's like me? Absolutely
like,
not.
I
go
had
to
no
church
idea.
every Sunday.
They were doing what in my company? I had no clue, man. I had no clue.
Go ahead, Singer.
It's just like every single company. Whenever allegations come out, they immediately like, nah, none of this happened. Nah, didn't see it. Nothing at all. Everything's rosy over here until the hard evidence comes out, and then they're like, yeah, we'd like to apologize. We settled it. And then you want to turn around. I want to be one of the interviewers who turn around and goes, so when I interviewed you 6 months ago and you said you didn't do it, you were just full of shit, right?
Like, didn't someone kill themselves and they blamed it because they were assaulted? Yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, someone did kill themselves. Yeah.
Bobby is a nasty motherfucker. That's all
I love the we investigated ourselves things. That's like when you go to a website and you're trying to decide on if you want to take a chance on this product, and all the reviews start scrolling on the website, but the reviews are from the website and not a third party. You know what I mean? Like not Amazon, but like it'll be like, you know, like a product or something, and they're like, here, see what our customers say about our product. But all of the reviews came from the actual like website itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It has that same ring of, well, it's self-serving.
Yeah, let me tell you, let me talk to you guys about one of my old companies, right? So I worked at this corporation where, mind you, we had 8 HR people in 10 years. Does that sound normal to you? 8 HR people in 10 years. Does that sound normal to you?
Why why would I say it again? I'm sorry.
8 HR.
They only have 8
no. Or we had one HR director, right? We had just one. But we had 8 HR directors in 10 years.
They kept quitting.
They kept quitting, yes.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of turnover.
When I was working there, I worked there for 5 years. And we had a total of 3 HR directors during my 5 years there. Okay. So like the turnaround rate was pretty high, right? Barely lasting a year or two, right? And let me tell you why. It was a private corporation. It was a small corporation. We only had several hundred, like maybe like 150 employees, right? My boss at the time was 100% sexually harassing the girls, at least verbally. I don't know if there was anything else going on. There was like this weird thing that happened where One of the girls went into his office. The door was closed. She claimed something happened. She left. There's a lot of shit that went into it. She went on social media talking about what happened, talking about how he physically assaulted her or whatever. Not whatever, but physically assaulted her and all this stuff, right? And yeah, so they got her out of there. But like what I'm saying is, like, girls would come and they would complain about what he was doing, but his like the CEO and the president of the company were like his adoptive parents, and like his kid, right? The CFO was the godparent of his child. So they just had like they let this guy run around just being a menace. Again, I heard him say some crazy shit around the other girls. Like he never did anything to me. He didn't like black girls, okay? Mind you, maybe 3 black women worked there and never at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. It's just girls that I had heard about beforehand. They ended up leaving. He liked Latina chicks and white girls, right? Because it was always those girls he'd go after or whatever, right? So it's like this rhetoric and the language that they use, you hear like the only reason they eventually got rid of him was because the assistant director of the lab was like, what's going on? And then one of the new managers in quality control was also like found out about what was going on. They were both women, and they were both like, either he goes or we go. So it took several years for them to get rid of him just because of nepotism, like his relation to the company, right? And so it's like you hear this rhetoric that these people up top use. And the reason I'm laughing is because like I've heard all this shit before, but I knew for a fact that shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can only imagine working. First of all, I'm making this clear. Like he never did anything to me, but I'm like I just based on my past experience, like just my last job, not the job I just had, but the job before that. If there's any sort of like abuse of power going on, I'm leaving. I fucking left that job from like 2 jobs ago or whatever, because they were like, it was a blatant abuse of power, and I was like, absolutely fucking not. And also just some weird shit started going on. I was like, I'm out of here like swimwear. But like not everybody is in the position where they can just leave their job, and it's so hard to find work right now. And like everything that's going on where like people, if you look in the tech industry especially, they are laying off so many people. Like it's difficult, man. So man, I definitely believe they were doing that weird shit. They were definitely being sexist, homophobic, the harassment 100%. I believe that shit. We saw the weird shit with the Cosby Room. You know, we read the reports about the girl who killed herself. Like Bobby is he's a nasty motherfucker. But what do you really expect from an old dude with a bunch of money? You know what I'm saying? So that's just my perspective on it.
Bobby is the living embodiment of the piece of shit CEO that we all talk about. Yeah, like he is literally that guy. Like, you know, we saying CEOs are pieces of shit, whatever. That is him. Like he is literally the textbook representation of when people talk about CEOs that are just trash, right? And the real question is, how can you hold people like that accountable? You know, and like literally, really, the only method we can is civil lawsuits, but they're so expensive where the little guy can't afford a civil lawsuit,
and they know that too,
and they know that, and I think as the representatives of this country or any country really, they need to make. And I know some people will be like, well, it could be misabuse, but at the end of the day, anything could be abuse. But I think they need to find better ways to give the little people access to civil lawsuits.
Why would they do that when the people who are in charge of that shit are all fucking abusers themselves, or a lot of them are fucking abusers?
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
the lobbyists.
It's a big fucking system. Or like weird shit, man.
How many people does he lobby? So yeah, you're right.
Like there's
Bobby out there.
There's nothing we can do. There's literally nothing that we can do. He's just like, for him or anyone else in positions of power, if you have a lot of money and you're in a position of power, there's nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to fucking say it, but that's just reality based on like history. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there have been moments of overthrowing certain things, but if you really sit and think about it, a lot of the terrible systems are still in place to this day. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as blatant. But go ahead, Slow.
This is why he felt confident in leaving a voicemail for one of his assistants, threatening to have her killed.
He did that?
Yes, he did that.
Allegedly?
That
Yes, he did.
that was in the reports. And when it was brought up, the official word from PR was he didn't mean it. It was a joke.
And something like that, you could go to the cops and be like, "Hey, this man threatened me. Arrest him." Like that's not even a civil litigation. That's just a straight up threat.
How do you leave a voicemail? And if the assistant didn't take it as like probably knowing his mood and tone, didn't take it as a joke, like who leaves that kind of voicemail? Like
someone unhinged.
Yeah, just this is stuff like that when you know people can say something like that, and that was years ago. Where is he? Still in his position, still doing whatever the heck he's doing.
Which is exactly why he would feel like he could leave a voicemail like that, because only someone unhinged and also feels untouchable would leave a voicemail like that. And we see the result.
He's untouchable because he's untouchable.
Exactly.
There's no consequences. There's no accountability.
The only consequences that could come to him, because the board of directors could technically fire him if they really wanted to.
Are they actually going to do that? They love Bobby. Don't they love Bobby?
Yeah, they love him.
Because he does the thing they want most: bring in the money.
He makes them money.
Exactly. The thing is, but if it did come, if after all this, like they could they're never good people, but technically they could, because people have been fired before.
Maybe only if they were concerned about like PR, and if PR got really bad, but it's been a couple of years even. I don't know, dude.
Look, you know what's going to look really bad on Xbox? If this deal goes through and they complete the acquisition for Activision and they don't get rid of Bobby.
Oh, nah, he's
all that
gone.
Talk they did. You think that, Singer? All that talk they did when they was like, well, we're going to have to reevaluate our relationship with Activision. Remember that? Remember when all the talk came out? We don't condone any of that around here. Oh no. Well, if you allow him to stay, you absolutely are condoning it. So
I can't see him the way they're moving, painting this whole good guy image to the entire industry at a company level, not just an Xbox level. The way Satya is running the company, there is no way in hell they let in that bad PR and Bobby Kotick stay there. They're gonna give him his golden parachute.
No, they've done it at Microsoft though. They let people at Microsoft who do similar things stay there.
Yeah, but like this
they
is
don't
more
make any
profile,
moves until
I was just getting ready to say this is a little more high profile.
I'm gonna say this.
This is more high profile.
If they keep Bobby, I'm gonna go on my pony and I'm gonna just call the Xbox community a bunch of sexual deviants.
Ew.
That's it. So they better get rid of him. Hey, Phil Spencer, if you're listening, I'm letting you know now. I will chastise the community as a bunch of sexual deviants.
Now, first of all, hold on. Don't let me. Okay, let me not start. Let me not start. I'm just saying, which community had someone sending dick pics unsolicited? I don't know. But anyway, we just move on. Let's move on. Okay, so let's.
Yeah. Hey. There's a difference between the CEO sending dick pics and some random YouTuber or Twitter account.
I just have this thought. They get rid of Bobby and then you put Monkey Barra in charge because he was your sleeper cell all along at the company.
Wow, that's hilarious.
And he takes over Bobby's position. He takes over. Yeah, there we go. Jump in.
That's planning right there. That is wonderful.
So anyway, let's just go ahead. So first of all, some of these like channel member topics have me scratching my head. No, y'all know damn well I don't fucking watch sports. So why are you asking me this? But maybe it's because the people on the panel, I don't know. But Smitty wants to talk about the Travis Rudolph case. Now, shout out to King Pro saying, P-Rock, what should be the plot for The Last of Us 3? I don't think they're doing The Last of Us 3, but go ahead, Porter Rock.
That's wow.
World blows up.
I don't know. I honestly think this is wow. I would say this. It has to come back to the beginning, right? If you're gonna make a part 3 and this is the final chapter, you have to go back to the beginning, right? And I think it would be Ellie's redemption in terms of, let's say she meets somebody and this person has the ability to be the cure, and they know they have to die. Let's say like a boy, a little boy, whatever, and they go to Ellie like, listen, I know I'm the cure. I need you to take me here, and yes, I know I'm going to die, but I am willing to do it to save the world. Will you help me with my mission? And I think, and however that story plays out, I think it is what it is. And I think you go back to how everything started and finish off.
Oh, so
there.
you're saying the Cure a central plot point? Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
go back to go back to
Yeah,
the Cure
no, I
central plot
understand.
point.
Mhm.
You know, but take away the things that Joe had to deal with. In this case, it's 100% transparent. We know, she knows, and the young teenager knows, but the decision's made. The question is the journey now, and then that's it.
Okay, that sounds like that would be interesting.
The Travis Rudolph thing, is that what the woman who was married, sleeping with another man, and then tried to get her brothers to kill him? Is that the same
I
case?
think so. I think that's what happened. Like, and then like he shot them. Okay, so an argument ensued, resulting in 4 men arriving at Rudolph's house at his girlfriend's request. Rudolph and the men got into a heated exchange that turned physical. As the unexpected visitors attempted to drive away, Rudolph allegedly shot 39 shots with a semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, he lost stand your ground.
Yeah, if they're already
you
like
don't,
leaving,
they're fleeing the scene. You can no longer say that's staying your ground.
Yeah, you're done.
Because they're gone. They're no longer a threat to you, and you're racking off down the street. Yeah, that's
yeah,
that.
like
That's that
these,
staying your ground. Plus,
listen.
you put yourself in that position. You know, going around messing with crazy married women. So
He said he's like, I didn't. Okay, and then she said, I was upset and my adrenaline was. First of all,
she's
yes,
crazy.
She's crazy.
She is
they need to look at
absolutely
her
bonkers.
because, like, the fact that she would even get her siblings involved, like, what was she thinking? What was she thinking? You know, I would
She's
never
got
put my brother in
I
that
saw
sort
her
of
on the
situation.
stand. She has
Any of my
zero
brothers.
remorse for the friend of her brothers that got killed. Zero remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, there's
She's
something
the
wrong
one to
with her,
put him
man.
in that situation.
There's something 100% wrong with her. And then Rudolph's brother takes a stand. Oh, Jesus Christ, stage. He took the stand, and let's see here. Fired 39 shots is a little bit excessive, but I mean it's especially if they, like, I could understand if they like broke into his house or something and he was doing 39 shots between the 4 of them, but if they were leaving, I don't think you can get away with that, man.
Yeah, he was fine when they were on his property, on his on his front step, or his porch or whatever. He lost staying your ground when they're driving off. Remember this case some years ago where the white guy killed the black kid at a gas station, and he tried to use.
That was something that just happened.
I
thought that was something that just happened.
No, that actually happened like maybe about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, the thing in Florida.
Did you hear about the teenage boy who, like, the Asian store owner thought he was like stealing or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guy that told these 4 black kids in a car at a gas station in Florida to turn their music down. They told him to shut the F up and mind his business. Went on about their business. He went past his girlfriend, went into the glove compartment, pulled out a gun, started shooting at them while they're still at the gas. They pulled off, and then you see him in the footage, the security footage of the gas station, chasing after them through the gas station, shooting at them as they pulled off down the street. And then he tried to say they threatened me and I was scared for my life. And he tried to use stand your ground for that. The video footage showed otherwise. He went to jail. Now that Asian dude, I know what you're talking about. He's definitely going to jail. He claims that the kid had a gun and he did. Yeah. He felt his life was threatened. You chased him out of the gas station, claiming that he stole something. He didn't steal anything. There was nothing on him that was.
Even if he did, that doesn't mean you can kill somebody.
You don't kill someone
there's laws for a reason,
over a stolen Snickers bar. And then the when they did the forensics or whatever, the entry wound of the bullet was in his back. So you shot him in the back. So you didn't. How were you afraid of your life? Were you afraid he was going to shoot a gun behind him without looking or something? Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, he I think his son probably, I don't know how old his son is. His son was there too and would join in the stupidity. So I think his son needs to be held accountable as well. But I don't know, that might end up being.
I don't even understand. Like, I don't know what the thought process is. Cause like for me, first of all, I've watched too many fucking programs on prison for me to do anything to put me in fucking jail. Okay, let's start there. Okay, let's start there. Secondly, this concept of chasing after someone. Maybe it's just because I'm a woman. I just can't imagine it myself. Also, but then again, I'm thinking about that. I would never put my brother in that kind of situation where I'm lying about shit and he could get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually love my siblings.
and that's like, your brother. He should know how crazy she is. He should have been like
crazy too, though. There's that.
Yeah, because it's just like, wait, hold up. Like, what are you doing? What you want me to go after some? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Aren't you still married? What are you talking about? Like all the questions I would have that be like, yo, you need to just shut up, go lay down, and just forget this man exists.
It just makes you wonder, just her family in general. Like, they probably all crazy.
I think
because Soma, you hit it on the head, nail on the head. Like, let's say if I had a sister and be like, hey, I need you to shoot this guy, I'd be like, well, for one, I'm thinking, did you get raped? Because that's been my
right.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're asking questions first.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah. So did you got essayed? Like, what did he do? He goes, oh no, he's messing with another chick. I'd be like, man, you better get a lawyer. Like, what the hell are you calling me for? That's what lawyers are for. If you don't shut your ass up right now. I'm like, no. Like, if you got essay or you're hurt or you're telling me that your life's in danger, or you damn right, I'm gonna be up in there. But
exactly.
Like, and even worse, if you're telling me to shoot another man, I'll be like, wait a minute, aren't you married? Like, what man are you talking about? Oh no, I'm messing around with another dude. Oh, click. I'm not even
immediately.
I'm not even listening. I'm not even gonna ask questions. I'm just clicking. I'd be like, yo, you out there being for the streets? You get what you get, girl. Like, what? Yo, I'm sorry. Like, would you? I'll be like, would you ask dad for help? No, you wouldn't, because you know damn well if you admit you hoeing, father would probably come with the belt and whoop your ass.
Exactly. Right. You ain't about to ruin my life over some shit.
It is literally, you get what you get energy for everybody involved in this, including Travis Rudolph, who is looking at prison time for getting a little overzealous and the shooting at them, on the week. Like, you were fine until you jumped out your house and started to shoot down the street and act like, I don't know what he was thinking. Like, I mean, like, that's crazy.
Just doing too fucking much, dude.
Doing too much, but then, like, you ask for the messiness when you start. Look, people. Maybe it's just me. I'm like one of the few people that got morals. If I'm a married man, but if I was a single man, I wouldn't be messing with married women.
Oh man,
I've had opportunities to, when I was single, to go that route, but once I found out what was good, I was like, well, you know what? Enjoy your life, because that ain't gonna be me. I'm not doing it. I don't want nothing to do with you. Period. And it's just like, you invite that kind of chaos and drama and ridiculous nonsense into your circle.
Like, here's my thing. Like, listen, pussy is pussy, dude. You can find some good pussy wherever. You don't need to go after. You don't gotta fuck with married chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a recipe for goddamn disaster. Do you want to end up in a situation like this? Mind your business. Same with, like, single chicks going after married dudes. Leave that man alone. Just keep it moving, man. You don't want those problems, dude. But thank you, Smitty. Okay, so anyway, Shout out to Phil saying, I just finished watching Hunter x Hunter, and now I have to ask, how would you rank the story arcs from favorite to least favorite? Oh, is Gregor still in the chat? Gregor, you still in the chat? Yeah, he is. If you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, just rank the top 5 arcs for one of your favorite anime. For me, it's York New City, Chimera Ant, Greed Island, 13th Chairman Election, Hunter Exam, Heaven's Arena, GOT Season 8. What the hell? Zodiac Family Arc. Okay, so I stopped watching during the Chimera Ant arc. So York New City, definitely number one. That was I really like that arc. I loved but then again, I loved, okay, Hunter Exam first, then York New City. I did like the Zodiac Family arc a lot though. Okay, let's see here. Okay, York New City, Chimera Ant. Wait, I'm sorry. Hunter Exam, York New City, Zoldyck. No, Chimera Ant, Zoldyck, and then Heaven's Arena. And I can't remember what the 13th chairman election is. Greed Island was boring as fuck. I'm sorry, dude. Like, that shit had me snoozing.
The 13th chairman, Oreo had his he gets more screen time. The Oreo.
Wait. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't watch that arc because it's after the Chimera Ant arc, right? So I didn't watch that.
Okay.
It's the one with what is his Pariston? Parish?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, like that fucking sociopath. Like, so anyway, but
and the crew all say goodbye as well. King, Aluka, Lorio, Gon, and Klua.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So cool. Anyway, we can just move on from that.
Oh, can I do my top 5?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Chimera Ant, number 1. Number 2, York New. Number 3 would be the 13th chairman election. Number 4, Hunter Exam. Number 5, Heaven's Arena. 6, Greed Island. And then last is Zoldyck Family. The only reason that is it's good, but it's short. It is incredibly short.
It is very short. But what I really liked about it was meeting like that fucking dog thing that they have. And like like that shit was scary because like whenever they play that, like that's whatever that OST is, right? That they play when something particularly disturbing is happening, like just the perfect, like the introducing like that giant fucking dog and the music playing it, like that shit was fire, dude. I don't know, I really like it. It was short, but I really like that arc. But anyway, we just move on from that. I know Gregor is on my ass right now. Pause, but thank you, Phil. We can just move on from that. Shout out to John the Don saying thoughts on this idea on Twitter that Marvel will have Miles be the main Spider-Man in the coming years. As great as the Spider-Verse movies are, I don't think they'll ever abandon the main Spider-Man with Peter Parker. First of all, they are not getting rid of Peter Parker. I would maybe believe it if we still didn't have Tom Holland's Peter Parker. And I know like there's been some back and forth about whether or not he wants to keep playing Peter, but like I think he still wants to keep playing Peter. You know what I'm saying? And those movies do well. And he's extremely popular with the younger generation because let me tell you, who went to go see that fucking Uncharted movie? Who went to go see that shit? People for him, you know? So I personally don't think that they're going to get rid of him anytime soon. I think they're gonna move more into having Spider-Gwen and Miles, but Peter, like even with these Spider-Verse movies, the focus was like the mainline focus, the background focus, like the central part of the theme was Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? So, and no spoiler-renos for Across the Universe. By the way, go see Across the Universe. Absolutely fucking fantastic film. Wonderful experience. Please go see it. It's worth a watch. But I can't imagine them getting rid of mainline Peter anytime soon, personally. Like maybe even in this concept of 30 years, like, I don't know, man. I don't really believe it, but and I look at my nephew. My nephew loves Spider-Man. He loves Spider-Man. And the Spider-Man he loves is Peter. And my nephew's 3. So that could change though. It could definitely change.
To be honest, where did the conversation of getting rid of Peter begin? Because I saw a little bit on Twitter with Miles Morales, but I don't understand. I didn't catch the segue. Like why is anybody even asking for that? That's like saying we need to get rid of Bruce Wayne from being Batman. Like I don't understand. Like how did this convo begin?
So it really comes down to this: people not there's a contingent of people, there's a group of people that don't really acknowledge Peter as Spider-Man because he doesn't really have his own rogues gallery. He copies a lot of
I mean, Miles, you said Peter before.
Sorry, Miles is Spider-Man. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have his own rogues gallery. And I'm just like I've not read any Miles Morales comics and stuff, so this is just things. I mean, someone you read Miles Morales?
I've read a little bit of it. It's not that great. It's even acknowledged in his some of his books focused on him that he doesn't have his own rogues gallery, and he's a lot of the villains that he's fought have been Peter's villains. Mm-hmm. Although he's starting to come into his own, he's starting to get his own story arcs. Like he's got his own love interests, a few that are, I mean, of course it wouldn't make sense for like, Miles to be messing around with Mary Jane or something like that, right?
But it makes sense with Gwen.
But it's a different Gwen.
I'm just saying, like, they could make it work. I don't know.
But the thing is that this is Gwen that's the actual spider hero herself,
mm-hmm.
So it's a different dynamic versus Gwen that's the damsel in distress kind of character
mm-hmm.
that she was in the with Peter in the main Spider-Man books.
Mm-hmm.
They need to set him up with the deaf girl from the game.
I would like that. Make her interesting.
That would be a good setup.
Yeah,
yeah. It took me a second to remember. Yeah, that might actually be something they may be exploring in the next.
Hey, Gregor's like, Luca, didn't you read that Miles is Thor on stream? I did read that bullshit. You're right. You're right. The Sony Spider-Man movie in development is literally about different spider characters protecting Peter's mother while she's What? Okay, well, anyway, we just move on from that. Like, what is that plot, dude? That sounds insane. Yeah. But
I do think the entire thought process has happened in like the past 24 hours about them not really like needing to go forward with Peter or Miles surpassing him. It's just that here's another Spider-Man movie that is high quality. The audience loves it, the critics love it, and Peter he's in it, but there's a bunch of Peters in it, but they're not the focus. They're not the main character. So Peter B. Parker is the most relevant one, and he's definitely side character in the background, dude. Even more so than the first movie.
I mean, like, no spoilerinos, but considering who the other person who was the focus on the film, you could be saying the same thing about them, right? The person the film started on.
Well, you mean we mean the same thing about them, that they're not important?
No, that they like the focus could be on them.
Well, yeah, I think this movie has an equal dual protagonist, main protagonist. I think it's equally between two characters, not just Miles.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that kind of goes into what a lot of other people are just like, yo, Insomniac, y'all need to get on this. Y'all need to be working on.
I definitely said that. I was like, where's my Spider-Gwen game? Stop fucking playing with me.
You ain't the only one. A lot of people want a Spider-Gwen game. Put her in Spider-Man 2, put her in the next Miles 2 or something, then give her her own spinoff. Like she's good, and she's unique in the sense that, well, it's similar with the whole sacrifice and losing someone with her, but she's way different than Peter because she's a woman and she's had other issues to deal with. So it's just, I think those kind of experiences are for people who are tired of like, hey, look, I watched the original Spider-Man trilogy, and then I watched the other two Amazing Spider-Man. Then I've watched this new trilogy,
that's a good point.
And I am tired. I'm petered out. I'm good. Like Peter's cool, and I like the dude, but like there's not much more of a story that I want to see from him anymore.
I don't agree with that. I think the biggest issue is that they kept repeating certain plot points, and that's where people got the Peter fatigue from. I think if they started doing like some of his other stories, people would still be as enthused about Peter as they are currently about like Miles and Spider-Gwen. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them are really dark and convoluted, though. It's like some of them can be difficult, I think, to portray on. Like, for example, when Peter went like he just went like he just stopped talking to people. He became just the Spider. Like he wouldn't take the costume off. He made a web cocoon in the corner of his room because Green Goblin cloned his parents and created this whole storyline where he convinced Peter that his parents were actually just like stranded on some island all these years and didn't die in a plane crash, and now they're back only for as soon as he put his guard down months after he had got his parents back, they attacked him and tried to kill him. And so like he literally like snapped for a while and went just like crazy Spider-Man where he wasn't pulling his punches. He was nearly killing everybody and all kinds of stuff. And Mary Jane was afraid to come home.
Superior Spider-Man as well. What the hell?
This
concept of him not pulling his punches, Superior Spider-Man, that sounds like that too.
Well, yeah, that was Doc Ock.
I know that's Doc. I'm just saying, like, it's a similar plot point. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But a lot of it is just, I think it's stuff that's like difficult to portray to an audience that is also like I took my boys to see it. They're 13 and 12. Like some of the storylines in the comics, I probably wouldn't want them to see.
They could just change them. Like it's not like the storylines that they're following in the movies are exactly like one-to-ones what they're doing with the comics. You know what I'm saying? Like they could change it to make it better.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is this conversation, you know, with Peter, whatever, driven because of how successful Miles Morales is? Because
I think so.
Because this is not new. Like we had Batman Beyond with Terry McGinnis. We had Hal Jordan.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah, we had John Stewart and Hal Jordan with Green Lantern. Like this is not the first time we've seen alternate people take on the mantle of some type of character. But I will admit, I think if any one of them had like huge success, I think Miles Morales is possibly the most successful.
He is.
That's only in recent years, though.
Yeah, in recent
because of the movies.
But yeah, and like
the games.
Yeah, so like
those comic runs are not fucking successful. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That is true. Generally, it isn't, right? Like
we also had to acknowledge that's a whole like a issue with Marvel at that entire time period where Marvel was just down everything. Everything they were doing in the comics was so focused on crossovers, and that like all the individual books suffered because all they were doing was trying to engineer like storylines with the MCU. So
yeah, no, I hear you. And honestly, Porter, I'm just gonna be blunt with it. The reason this conversation is coming up where it's like taking over instead of just coexisting is because people are upset that people again don't. There are some people who don't want to acknowledge Miles as Spider-Man because it's the race swapping thing, like the tokenization thing. So there are some people who are like this, like again, it's the concept of taking over because they're upset because people don't want to acknowledge Miles. But I think Miles, especially with these movies, is becoming his own character. You know what I'm saying? He just needs his own rogues gallery, he needs his own girls, and he needs his own stories away from Peter, because at the end of the day, these stories are these two movies are focused on Peter too. Like he's part of the central plot, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we need a story where it's Peter is not like part of it, you know, if they want to move away from Peter. But I don't think they have to move away from Peter. I think they can coexist, you know.
I think what they're doing right now with the Spider-Verse is sure to be a trilogy. They've already announced the third movie, the date of the third movie coming out is already similar to a storyline that was done in the comics that dealt with the multiverse and Spider-Gwen and Miles and their kind of, you know, their little budding romance going on and all that stuff. So like they're already kind of taking some like probably his most popular story arc that has really nothing to do with Peter at all, or his rogues gallery really, and there are a few others that are very similar to that, like when he in the comics when he actually is officially in the canon Marvel multiverse, the 616 multiverse, where like he is interacting and working with like Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and other younger heroes of his age. Like all of that stuff is very much separate from like what Peter Parker was doing at that time, or anything regards to regular Spider-Man period. So it's just he has those storylines. It's just it's going to take some time to adapt some of that stuff to the big screen, but it's possible. It's just that like there's very slim pickings compared to Peter Parker, where there are literally like decades upon decades and decades of great storylines that can be adapted. It's just, will they be adapted? And it's kind of similar to we said the same thing about X-Men for a while, where like, why is it every time you do an X-Men movie, we gotta see Magneto? I mean, like, we ain't gotta see Magneto wasn't the only villain they fought every single time. You know, sometimes like you didn't see the bastard for the longest time. Like he ain't always there. So like, can you do something different? You know, Wolverine ain't the most important X-Man either. Shocker. Like he's not. There are other X-Men that are far more important. Stop putting the focus on just specific
especially
characters,
considering how like, and he still looks fucking amazing, but Hugh Jackman's getting older as well, so they could like definitely focus on others. So
yeah, Hugh already said he's done playing Wolverine. He's not doing it
after
anymore.
Deadpool.
Yeah. They had to convince him to come back to do that. Like he said he was done before. After Logan, he said he was finished with the character.
What a fantastic film. But okay, so real quick, go ahead, Ramon.
Oh no, it was when you start talking Wolverine. It's off topic, but real quick, I saw this fan-made YouTube video, and it was Wolverine versus the Predator. So if you want to watch something real quick that's really cool, check that out.
All right. So listen, this is what I was talking about. Envy, why are you asking me about Shannon Sharp? But I'm assuming he's directing this towards y'all because I don't watch sports. But Envy's like, thoughts on Shannon Sharp leaving Undisputed and where you think he'll move on to next?
Shannon Sharp, to kind of explain it to you, Luca. Shannon Sharp is one of those like sports personalities. He's a Hall of Fame football player who in retirement went into the whole pundit sports personality guy that just kind of talks about sports in general. He became a replacement for Stephen A. Smith, who left
Undisputed,
yeah. And the guy that his co-host is really, really, really difficult to work with. Now, although that guy initially went to bat for him to give him the opportunity, it seems like Shannon's popularity in this arena, he seemed to be a bit jealous of him and was consistently openly disrespectful to Shannon on a regular basis, to the point where Shannon was pretty much done and he left. So I think it was good on Shannon to care more about his own integrity and not let somebody just straight disrespect you, especially someone who hasn't done like a quarter of what Shannon has accomplished in his life. And where he goes from here, I mean, probably ESPN. If they want to spend that money, I don't know. ESPN be kind of cheap now. Well, they ain't really trying to spend money on people like that. But who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? But wherever he goes, he's gonna get paid. I know that much.
Okay. All right.
Can I say something real quick to that?
Of course.
So
this is contribute.
This is where like I didn't really watch Undisputed too much, and I'll tell you why. Because you had a Hall of Fame player, right? Versus a career, sports news reporter, journalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, it was cool, but then at a certain point, and I can't pinpoint when, because there were times that Shannon Sharp made great, amazing points, and then Skip would reply to the number one way to debate ad hominem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would attack him personally, or he would agitate and make fun of him. But here's the problem. This is what really annoyed me, where I couldn't watch the show anymore. Skip never did the job. He doesn't know what it takes to be a champion. You never did it. Shannon Sharp, he can relate. Even if it's not in the same sport, he can relate to a Michael Jordan. He can relate to Kobe Bryant. He can relate to Derek Jeter, because he knows the amount of effort in the gym, the training, the things families have to go through, while you're training to be a championship Hall of Famer. Skip never did that. All you did was watch. It's one thing to debate somebody And if the person outclassed you, then take the L. But when you start disrespecting their career, saying, oh, this person is better than this person, the best retort I saw Shannon Sharp is like, yeah, but are you better than me? Because you never did the job. So what are you talking about? You just a dude that spent your career talking about something you never actually did. And I couldn't watch the show no more, because if you never did the job, then you truly will never know what it takes to get there. You can watch all the tapes in the world, but did you do the job? Did you put in the effort, and did you achieve success? Well, no. So how do you really know? There's only so much tape and videos and journals you can read over experience and actually doing it, right? So when Skip started attacking him personally, attacking his career personally, to where not only did he never play football, you never achieved the success he did. So where leg do you stand on insulting this man simply because he made better points? The show is called Undisputed. So yes, he's gonna make better points. And at times, he's going to have the advantage over Skip because he did the job. So he's talking from a perspective that no matter how much studying Skip has, he will never have the experience and the knowledge behind it. So technically, Shannon Sharp has an advantage over him, because not only does he study the sports and study and read many of the articles Skip does, he actually did it. He knows the pressure of being down by like 7 points and having to win the game. He knows how that feels like. So yeah, Shannon Sharp at times had the advantage and made better points. Skip should have just been a professional, accepted that. But once he started going on this route, disrespecting him, yeah, and you know how it is, right? Skip could create the scenario that he antagonizes Shannon, and then Shannon will look like the quote unquote angry black man. But nobody will say Skip is some type of typical. That's not going to happen. So Shannon Sharp is smart. He knows exactly where this is going. So he just left that environment. And and that's why I stopped watching First Take for a while. Once I saw Skip doing that, I'm like, yo, what is this guy doing, bro? Like, you never played the sport.
Yeah,
like
you know it's bad. You know it's bad when Shannon Sharp is liking people's tweets talking about how Skip was jealous of him, about how Shannon was disrespected, about how like Fox should be getting rid of Skip instead of and be trying to keep Shannon Sharp instead. It's just like, you go to his Twitter profile and see his likes list, and you're just like, man. He's liking all this stuff, and it's just like, yo, like that's very, very telling.
It's absolutely true, bro. Like, I lost all respect for Skip. Like, if you're
I've never
a journalist,
had respect for him anyway.
Yeah,
he's always been a clown to me.
If you're a journalist, be a journalist, but don't attack players' professional careers because you never did it. You never did it, so shut the fuck up. Like, that's it. Shut the fuck. Really, you never did the job. Ain't no goddamn way. Just because you know how you got a journalist degree from any university, that's equivalent to actually people putting the hours into the gym. And not only putting the hours into the gym, they actually did it. They won Super Bowls. They won NBA Finals. They were MVPs. They made it to the Hall of Fame. They were successful at it. So they kind of, Shannon Sharp kind of knows what he's talking about, because he's literally a Hall of Fame football player.
Now, like, there's a clip of him, that probably the most popular clip that of their argument, where Skip is so like, if I was Shannon Sharp, I probably would have came across the table and like literally like assaulted that man. Like, he's so disrespectful to him, to the point where like at one point Shannon takes his glasses off because he's so frustrated with the stupid stuff that Skip is saying, and Skip is like, "What are you doing? Put your glasses back on." It's just like, bruh, like
that was the episode where he's trying to say that Brady's better than him.
Yeah, and like, Brady's a quarterback, he was a tight end. How are you comparing the two? Like, they're both Hall of Fame players. That's stupid.
Think he's definitely right to leave if he's getting like disrespected like that. Yes. I wouldn't deal with that personally. Okay, so we can just move on. Thank you, boys. I appreciate your input on it. Very like legitimately like very interesting stuff, because I had no idea any of this stuff was happening, because I don't pay attention to sports stuff like that. So cool. Okay, so Light Strife says, after years of leaving Persona 5 on the back burner, I finally got around to beating and I got the platinum Persona 5 Royal. And I gotta ask, who's the best girl? I went with Makoto, and I have no regrets up until the third semester when I started to feel like Yoshizawa was the right option all along. Honorable mentions are Tai Takemi and Futaba. She was really sweet, but I couldn't do it seeing as Sojibro went out of his way to ask me to not date her. Side note, this game really makes you feel bad for turning any of them down. The best girl is Makoto. Makoto's my favorite character. Mind you, but I only played the original Persona 5. I played that, 2.5 times. So I didn't play Royal, so I don't know what like differences there are in that. But Makoto was my favorite character, and then I romanced her, I romanced An, and I started romancing Haru. So
The best.
I would say the best girl is all of them. Date all of them.
No.
That's
The best
way to go about
girl is Kasumi. Like,
that's another right.
Yeah, she is redhead, man, so nice. Then, second would be the teacher. I also romanced the teacher, and I also romanced the doctor because why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you romance the doctor? She's, you're kind of like. That's a
she's
freaking
only
shit right there.
using you as a guinea pig and testing
Hey,
out experimental
man,
drugs
I mean,
on
she
you.
can
why not, right?
test and
Seriously.
experiment all she wants.
Well, for me, I went with An, and if I only played the vanilla one. My second time around, I'd probably go Makoto. I'm just gonna throw out there real quick that the fact that Futaba is actually a choice is super weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Futaba's only a couple years younger, I think.
she seems like she's like 13.
Let me double check her age.
I mean, it's all kind of weird because the doctor is too
she
old,
is a
the
choice?
teacher is too old.
Is she just a choice in Royal? Because I didn't think she was a choice at all. Not that I even cared, because I was definitely
she's a choice in Royal. She's 15. Futaba's 15, and then you're like 17,
Joker's
18.
17, right?
Joker's 17. So
Yeah,
17-year-old and a 15-year-old is still weird.
I don't think so.
Nah, that's okay.
That's like a freshman and a junior. I don't think that's weird.
I guess. I don't know. And then the teacher
But
and the doctor.
the teachers and the doctors, though, I don't know.
The teacher, the doctor, and the reporter.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the reporter.
All three of them are not.
Yeah, that's just that seemed a little riding the line.
Okay, so no, according to Royal, a Joker's 16, which makes it adults worse. Okay. I thought he was 18 in the original. Wasn't he older in the original? No,
he probably was 16 the whole time.
Wow. Okay, so looking at these ages, 15 and 16 is even less of an issue. So
15 and 16 is less of an issue, but the teacher and the doctor is now more of an
issue.
The teacher and doctor's not it. No.
The teacher was.
How is it the teacher and the doctor not an issue?
They're like full on adults, and he's supposed to be 16.
He's 16 years old.
Even 17, that's a problem, but 16 is really a problem.
That's my favorite.
See, you're looking at it from your lens, Singer, and you'd be absolutely right. But looking at it from the lens of the story of the game.
Well, I'm the one playing this.
I feel like the reporter even acknowledges that he is too young for her, and yet she would still, like, if you pursue it, you could still do a relationship with her. It just makes it even worse.
I mean, I already had to really, really suspend my real life.
Listen, here's you can acknowledge that something is weird and wrong, and like still do whatever you're gonna do in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it like this: Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We don't know how old the fucking professor is because they deliberately did not tell us, because they knew that we were gonna romance these goddamn students. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's still wrong anyway, regardless of his age, because he's in a position of power over them.
Yeah, she's in a position of power. I mean, not when they get together, but that affection they had was from when she was their teacher.
That would bother me, man.
Oh my god.
It sounds troublesome.
So I'm assuming the professor is like 20 maybe, and
at the 17 he's early 20s at the oldest, because you got to think about the time period of when he was born. He really was born when his father was still working at the monastery,
and that was 20 years ago, right?
And that was 20 years ago, so he's likely like 20.
He's 20. He and she, Byleth is 20. What's the name, Slomo?
You just said it.
Go ahead and say it.
You got it. You already said
No,
it.
go
Everyone
ahead and
knows.
say it, buddy.
No, I'm not saying. No, the professor. You mean
the name?
The professor.
Okay. So
That's
anyway,
everyone calls him.
okay. So, but yeah. So Byleth is like 20, and those characters were 17 and 18. I know the characters that were 18 were Dorothea and Mercedes. I don't know about. I don't know about the guys. Dorothea is 18. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the girl's name with the purple hair? The one that would never leave her room.
Bernadetta.
Yeah, she always seemed like younger
That's
to
the
me.
trauma, dude. She's 17.
Oh, also the one that looks like she's 12. They've been experimenting on.
Lysithea is 15.
Okay, see that's not.
But Lysithea is not a romance option. Let me look at these ages though. She's not a romance option, so it's fine. Okay, so Edelgard's 17, Hubert's 19, Dorothea's 18, Fernandad is 17, Bernadetta 17, Caspar is 16, Petra's
Hubert looked like a school
Petra's
shooter.
15. Okay, Lindhart
Petra's
is
15.
Yeah, I'm looking at this random wiki. I don't know.
Lindhart. Well, yeah, she's definitely a romance option, and
Dimitri. And so's Lindhart for the guy, I think, if you choose to be gay or whatever.
What was Hilda?
Dimitri 17, Dedu is 18, Felix is 17. What? No, these ages aren't making any sense. Hold on, let's double. Let me look someplace else.
Because Felix is younger than his what was the guy that was running Dedu? Blue Lion? The guy that runs Blue Lion. Dimitri. How old is Dimitri?
Dimitri's like 17.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine then. Because I thought like if you get into the dialogue with Felix, he talks about growing up with Dimitri.
Yeah. No, they're like, okay. The only one I know for sure is super young is Lysithea. Like I know Lysithea is 15. The rest of them, I don't fucking know. I mean, I know Lysithea is 15. Okay. Let me just break it down. I know for a fact that Lysithea is 15. I know for a fact that Dorothea and Mercedes were 18. I know Edelgard and Dimitri.
You know what I just thought about?
I know Edelgard was 17. I don't know about Dimitri. What's up?
Catherine is a romance option too for the professor, and Catherine is way older than them.
Yeah, but like that's fine. Like, wait, how much older?
Well, I don't know. I just remember her talking about how she was in a completely different class.
Okay.
Like way different. Like
yeah. Okay.
A while ago.
5 years passed, so the professor would be 25 by the time they start romancing like Catherine, right? And the Catherine is like maybe 30 something. That's fine. Shamir's a romance option too, right?
Who?
Shamir?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at these ages. Petra's 15, really? I didn't know she was that young, dude. Okay. No. Okay. Mercedes 22, really? No, these ages aren't making any sense. I gotta go look at the game again because I know in the game they mentioned their ages.
Are you looking at the wiki?
Yeah, I'm looking at like fucking Reddit and like these other wikis and shit. Like, I could have sworn she was 18 in the game. Maybe it's like a translation thing. Yeah. Okay, you can check their ages in the game. Hold on.
Catherine is 27 years old.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Okay, like you could check their age exactly. You could check their ages. Okay. I'm looking at. I knew you could check their fucking ages. Okay. Leonie is 19. Hilda is 18.
That the one that's like basically obsessed with the professor's father?
Yeah.
Like don't ever romance her. Like I did that one on my last playthrough for Golden Deer, and basically she ignores the professor even in the ending like dialogue explaining everything. Just like
you just wanted to have Gerald's last name, dude.
Basically, she creates a whole mercenary group named after him, even though she's like the freaking queen or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Marianne is 17. Lysithea is 15, which like Ignac 17, Raphael 17, Lawrence is ugly ass is 18. Ingrid is 17. Annette is 16. Mercedes is 22. I had no idea. Sylvain is 19. Ash is 16. Felix is 17. Dedu is 18. Petra's 15. like watching this video. Holy shit.
That's true.
Okay, Petra's 15, and then yeah. Okay, cool. I know Dorothy is 18. Okay, so okay. Luca's more engaged finding out the kids' ages than she was in sports because I played the game, dude. I don't care about the sports. Yeah, so I romanced Edelgard when she was Empress. And I romanced Dorothea. Edelgard and Dorothea, my two wives. I tried to romance Dimitri, but he was crazy throughout the majority of my playthrough, so that didn't work out.
You can't, yeah. You just can't.
Just I don't know.
Can't reach that guy. He's just,
He
especially
gets it
like
together
in the second half of the game where he's just staring at rubble in the cathedral and not even speaking to anyone. Hey, dude. Hey, hi. You want? No, we ain't talking again. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and
just
then I think I thought about romancing Claude, but I decided to just go with Dorothea again. So
he was a beast in combat, though. I mean,
yeah,
all that
absolutely
anger.
Excellent. But yeah, anyway, so great show, guys. Damn, maybe I'm gonna play Fire Emblem Three Houses, so I can get that final because I did every single playthrough. I didn't finish Silver Moon though. So
which one is Silver Moon?
What's up?
Which one is Silver Moon?
Silver Moon is when you choose to stay with the church. And you we're Black Eagles.
So I've done more than you have now. Haha.
Oh, you finished the Golden Deer?
Yeah. I finished that earlier this year.
Oh, nice. Man, wasn't that an excellent? That's the best one, isn't it?
I think it's the canon. I think it's the canon.
It's the best one.
Yeah, it's gotta be the canon one because you find out the most about what's really going on. Mm-hmm. You're able to actually fight the people who are really behind everything. And you're not being manipulated by those who slither in the dark who are really controlled. So like if you go Blue Lion or whichever route you choose with Black Eagle, you're still being manipulated. And then in the end, none of like the people who really did all the shady stuff in the background, they did the most pain to everybody, they all get away. But then none of that happens in Golden Deer. Everybody gets their comeuppance, including freaking like 5,000-year-old Nemesis. So it's just
that shit was so damn fire, dude. That final fight is amazing. But anyway, let me shout out these channel members, then we'll get to clips.
What you should do, Luca, is if you're gonna replay it, you should play that crispy 60 FPS.
Go hook me up with the goodness, man. But shout out to Outlaw, Drav, Iman, Lionel, Damon, Tevin, H-Dog, Derek, Stank Mocking, Metrotron, Meat Puppet, Scrotum, Phil, Mr. Dolo, DQ, John the Don, Smokes, Jorenza, Stardust, Riskit, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Kenny, DC, Shogun, Mike, It's a Me Baby, Big Daddy, Smitty, Plus on the Block Podcast, El Whito, Sub Negro, Sir. Oh, Portrock, you're still here? Okay, Sir X-Man, Yobi, MJ, Yazzie, Aronimus, Dandy, Dom, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Dedel Brisky, Corey, Light Strife, Jabari, Arcade, Pepitio, Nautical, Jet. Did Nautical ever say anything?
No, he just left.
Okay. Nautical Jet, Brandon, Envy, Jarrell, Slomo, and Hannibal. Thank you guys so much for being members of my channel. I really do appreciate it. If you want to become a member of the channel to submit topics for the show, the join button's there, and I would appreciate it. Thank you so much to all the super chat support, especially JD went crazy. So thank you so much. But thank you, JD, Face 23 BKNY, and also Grizzly Bear and King Prel. Thank you guys so much. And then Clifton's asking the boys if you guys could romance. Would you romance the male love interest if the MC was female?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I want to see how the story goes. That's my main goal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't care either.
You don't bother me. It's not like it's me romancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I just want to say one thing about 3 Houses. My favorite part, Luca, is when you're doing the Golden Deer route and you beat Edelgard and she's like laying there near the throne and she's all like trying to like explain herself. Well, like I just love the fact that the president just cuts her off and just like in mid sentence, just shut up. Just no. I don't care about your excuses. I love that part.
That previous question just reminded me of something that had me on the floor. It was back when Cyberpunk first came out, and I think I was cruising Twitter and I saw Hard 8 posted, and he was someone asked him if he played as a woman or a man, and he was like, "Well, I started off as a woman, then I accidentally went to the red light district, got my cheek got my cheeks clapped, and then I had to, and it pulled me out. I had to go back and start as a male.
I see that tweet.
Yeah. Oh man, I was crying when I read that.
That was really funny. Yeah, I do remember seeing that tweet. Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll romance. First of all, I'll romance anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was romancing the chickadees when I was playing as girl. Romance the boys. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get out of here. So shout out to all everybody who I got in the chat. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for all the super chat support. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everyone who hung out in the chat and just had fun with us. For anyone who listens to this later, please leave me alone about this Last of Us 2 conversation. Leave me alone. All right. I'm just gonna be like, you got it, and just move on. All right. I'm scared about these comments I might be getting. We'll see. But anyway, Porter Rock, thank you so much for coming to hang out. I always love hanging out with you, brother.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad I was able to have some time to rock out with the family. Love it.
Yes, love you, man. Ramon?
Yo, what's happening, everybody? You already know me. Find me on Twitter, same thing, Ramon Terrell, everywhere. And it was great hanging out with you all. Thanks for having me, as always, Luca. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it, especially I know you were busy, so thank you. Slomo, thank you as always for coming through. I always appreciate having you on. I love your insight. I love your energy, and it's always a great time with you here.
Awesome. I can try to do that with as little energy as possible. No. I had a great time as usual. Shout out to Porter Rock for joining us. I always like hearing his.
I was like, hello?
Pewdie Rock. No.
Pewdie
Shout out
Rock.
to Porter Rock for joining us. I always enjoy his insight and his energy as well. So I appreciate him. Forte for coming through and then leaving without saying bye. Singer and of course Ramon, the Hallmark Channel actor of the year, God. 3 years in a row, 3 years running. It's going to be 4 years too, guaranteed. When the Christmas Story Part 6 comes out, and he's romancing another soccer mom. So
oh my God, dude, I'm literally up for like I'm up for 3 of them right now, and it's already killing my soul.
Can you give us the names of the characters that you're portraying? I know they're generic as hell.
Oh, dude, like, man, I got one. His name is Brady. I got another one. His name is Hank. And Hank. And I can't remember the last one, but yeah, it's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, there's no black guy out there in the entire world named Hank. None. I refuse to believe there's a single black guy named Hank.
You'd be hard pressed to find a Hank and a Brady.
Yeah,
definitely Brady. That was.
I don't know about the Brady. Yeah. All right, so I'll catch you guys for another episode next week.
Wait, you missed me.
Oh, Singer. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, don't worry. It's me, Singer, the missable one. Don't worry. I'll go.
I'm so
back
sorry.
And how you do my
because I was putting you. I was literally putting you like I put like order of appearance with hola, what's up, man? Order of appearance in the tweet. So I literally just put you first, and then I completely just forgot. My bad, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, great show. Pleasure having P-Rock in the. He came out to the stables to grace us with his presence, so it's always a pleasure. Shout out from Rome coming through, and see you all later.
Yes, and I appreciate your insight and all the depth you went into when discussing Diablo 4. So thank you so much.
Also, buy Diablo 4. Great game, worth it.
Thank you. Yeah, run it back, Andres. Should I? Okay. What's up, man? Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Catch you next week. Xbox show next week. It's the show's the night before the Xbox show. So, all right.